What are we waiting for, boys? All right. Okay, we're live. I think. Yeah, 5 seconds.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You got your subs? Okay. You got your subs done? What?
Yeah. Actually, you want to share that picture I sent to you guys?
Yeah,
Can you do that?
Yeah.
So yeah, the new version 2 alpha and relentless 6.5s and 8s, and they're fucking cool, man.
What the fuck's going on with my computer? Come on, open Facebook.
Drew, tell these people where you are.
So I am currently in Jail Audio's listening room in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh shit, you're just down the road, dude.
Behind me.
Jail's in Phoenix?
Their electronics research and manufacturing division is, yes.
Holy shit. Cool. I thought it was just Florida. Damn, I'd like to pop down there sometime.
So behind me is C7 three-way set, and this is a fully acoustically treated room in every way. It is. Sick. This place is bougie, is what it is. So they knew that we did the live thing every week. So they were like, hey, you can use this office that looks plain, this conference room, or the listening room. I said, well, set me up, bud.
Yeah, the listening room looks pretty chill. It looks like a fun place to kick.
I know it. If I'd have had a few more minutes to set up, I could have centered everything a little better.
Yeah,
but it'd be all right.
Well, you could just scoot over.
Eventually, because people. No, I'm not trying to be centered. I'm trying to center to the room.
The camera.
Because people are going to come and go through the podcast. Steve Teresi may show up. The new adventure of Max may come in. There's a bunch of people here still, so who knows?
Sweet. Well, there's your subs, Bobby.
Ooh, look at those.
Yeah. So you can see the Alpha 6.5. The Relentless 6.5 on the far right. The Relentless 8 on the second from. The Alpha 6.5 next over, and then on the far left is the Alpha 8. The Alpha subwoofers now have a carbon fiber dust cap. Same dust cap that we used on the Relentless series subs. And some people may not know that carbon fiber cone and dust cap act as a heat sink for the voice coil. And that's where we get our incredible power handling of our Relentless series subwoofers. One of the many reasons, but that's the one I'm sharing with you. Because it's right there. When people are like, why carbon fiber? Just because it looks cool? It's like, no, bitch. It has a super duper function. Otherwise, we wouldn't have bothered spending so much goddamn money on our product.
On real carbon, you could have just done a sticker.
Could have just done a sticker. Oh, and I've been asked about if the stickers fall off at all.
Do those have direct leads?
Yeah, the Relentless series have direct leads. Sky high wire, as a matter of fact.
Sweet.
I feel like direct leads on a speaker like that is the best thing ever, because trying to use terminals on like the big sundown sub, the 8s, is such a...
And trying to get them into the box, even with the direct leads, it's a challenge. But our new baskets are far more forgiving getting the woofers into the enclosures. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but our 6.5-inch sub boxes have notches around where the terminals are, so that you can get the wires and everything in. And then another thing we did on the 6.5-inch basket is we clocked the bolt pattern 22.5 degrees to work around the terminals, so that we don't have a screw right in the center of the two terminals. So that's a fun improvement that we did. Makes them a little better. So.
I mean, and you only get that from all the experience you have from subs that size and doing the testing.
All of the fucking testing.
Nobody needs to do that.
It took me a long time to figure out, what improvements could be made. So we were designing the basket, and I'm like, it's going to be it's going to be an all new product for the most part. What else can we do? And it was like, take these subs that we've been testing for years now, dig through a bunch of old data from Ray Pimley and Getty and like shit that Colt collected and a couple of the guys at the shop, and then Eric, who's been testing for us lately, studying all the information that I have, trying to like put together what the fuck I'm really looking at, and then also putting the sub in front of me and be like, what the fuck would I do different? What would I do different? Because I can do it all different right now. What can I do? And and I did everything that I could think of. All of it is in news. So
Bobby, tell me a little bit about the differences between the two lines. I mean, obviously the motor's bigger, but like, you want to get into just a few of the details?
Well, the Relentless has all carbon fiber cone and dust cap. The Alpha has a paper cone and just a carbon dust cap now. That's the change there. They actually use the exact same basket, but you can see that the Relentless are much deeper. They have much larger motors. The direct leads and then the spider packs are different from Alpha to Relentless.
Same coil size or bigger
coil? The same coil size, but slightly beefier coils, a little longer because they're a little bit more excursion on the Relentless than the Alpha. Okay. So it's pretty much the same wind, only 30% longer.
Yeah, I
think
more
that's where we ended up when we tested
more motor
the same coil as the previous version. We didn't change the coil, but developing the coils, it's essentially the same, only longer for the Alpha and the Relentless. I'm sorry, for the Relentless versus the Alpha. So
and the Relentless. Like you said, with all the carbon fiber, even though it's the same coil, probably could handle a little bit more power because it cools a little better.
It cools a lot better. And then the stiffer suspension. So that's like, because we have that stiff suspension, we can put all that power into that thing. And then we're going to make a little more heat. The stiffer the suspension, the more heat you make in your voice coil. That's the thing, right? So thermal power handling is what we call it. And
and it's even though it's the same coil,
a little bit
it is
about
higher.
A company that does lots and lots and lots of testing of everybody's product, and not many things pass their rated RMS for a 100-hour test.
No, not even 100. It was 8 hours. They wouldn't make it 8 hours.
Well, I'm pretty sure our Relentless 6.5 did the whole 100.
I believe it. I believe every second of it.
At 750 watts. And now
actually, you may have more up-to-date information on that because you've been there more recently than I have.
You didn't get a new mic, did you, Drew?
Yeah, you still need to do a new mic.
Well, at least you're not glitching.
Yeah, the glitching thing was kind of fun, though. The mic is more frustrating. Fancy as shit having ass motherfucker. And it's just
maybe one day in the near future we'll be doing a 100-hour test on a Clipple for a lot of these different subs.
Well, we won't need to put the Clipple on it, but I definitely want the Clipple, man. I'm into
maybe
that.
I want to do that.
I'm in. I'll test the shit out of every one of my subs, and you got, and there's a whole bunch more shit coming. Yeah,
dude, I want to test all kinds of shit. Subs, speakers, mid bass,
but I got
all of it.
There's a bunch more subs.
Hell yeah. Well, shit. Whew.
Yeah. I'm not gonna disclose the information. It's not time yet. But I had a super duper bitchin' idea in the last few days, along with a bunch of new products that we're doing that are going to add a bunch of new products to what's existing and make some really special shit happen.
Get you a pair of Relentless 8s then, dude.
Yeah, they're available at gatelyaudio.com and skyhighcaraudio.com and I don't know where else, but probably other places as well. Get them.
You want to be about it? Fuck about it. What?
Fuck around and find out.
And those subs are shallow. If you turn them on their side, a 6.5 is as shallow as
a 6.5.
Any fucking high performance fucking 12 shallow mount, and it'll kick the shit out of it. Just aim it the right direction, not the wrong direction.
But yeah, so I went up to that Master Tech Expo that was happening this week.
Yeah,
went there a couple hours a day. You saw some of the people doing the fabrication challenge and a clean wire challenge, and dude, there's some talent.
Okay,
people, man.
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering what I was watching when Jeremy was doing that live video of that he was wiring, or somebody was wiring the couple full cal amps. Maybe
dude, The fact that they
crossovers or
did some
something.
of that wiring so fast. I mean, I know they planned for it, but there's some great work.
Yeah, I
Those
mean,
were super
a
nice
lot of those
cars
guys
there.
are the best technicians in the fucking world. I mean, there's just a
What
whole
it-
bunch of them there. A friend of
Is it
mine
like a
called
competition,
me at
Drew?
fucking 5:30 this morning, and he was like, "You should be here." And I'm all, I just went to a training a couple weeks ago. I can't afford to do fucking everything, and if I could, I'd be at a goddamn training every day, and I would never work. So I had to make a decision on what made the most sense for us, and I think Oklahoma was the right choice for what we're doing.
Yep.
I think I'm a little better at fabrication than I am building SQ cars, and I'm really good at building SQ cars, just not as good as Mark and some of the guys that we went to school with, right? So, but yeah,
So
it's
at that Mastercraft Expo, Drew, that wiring you were just telling us, was it like a competition or?
Yes, yeah. There was a clean wire competition and then the fabrication competition, or both.
So
they held both this year.
In the clean wire competition, was it just strictly about who like give us the parameters or whatever? What were they trying to do?
I don't know the rules or parameters. I know they all had the same like amp rack board. So like it's real popular now for like the Ford trucks. You can buy a pre-built amp rack that'll bolt onto the back wall, and then you can just build off of that. So they had some of each team had an amp rack, amplifiers provided, I think, by Moscone maybe.
I saw Focal, I think it was, but
might have been Focal. And then I think they provided their own. They had provided wire, but then they could bring other little things. And then the challenge was to just make it as nice and clean looking as you could, as what they wanted to do in a certain time frame. And there was a bunch of different looks.
So it wasn't necessarily like get it done fastest. It was like you have 10 minutes to do this, however you want.
Yeah. Yep.
Go.
From my understanding, yeah. I mean, I could be wrong. I only went, a couple of hours today, so. And I was just watching.
That's cool.
Then they were finishing the fab competition. There's like a big stage in like the middle of the room, and Mark from Call Audio Fab was on YouTube was hosting today on stage, and it was pretty entertaining. I'll give them that.
What were they building? Like
they were building just some like I think they look different. So they must have been just building different stuff and just going for creativity, or I'm again not sure. If people watching are curious, if you go to the Master Tech Expo Facebook, you can probably scroll back and find the actual rules and all that. But yeah, there's just some of the like Bobby said, some of the best fabricators there are. Period. And I saw some like door panels and like because like they'll fab full custom panels, just miniature to display in shops, and it's some of the coolest. It's so cool looking. So it's like a full.
I gotta say, I never got that because I could make a fake door panel, but that doesn't represent shit about getting that thing fastened to a door. Or
I think it was more about just showing the design capabilities.
I guess. I just that isn't a really good representation of actual fabrication skill, though. I mean, I hope that somebody has an appropriate vision to build something that's aesthetically pleasing. But because I've seen those things, I've seen the guys, I know a bunch of guys that have gone to the school, and I look at that and I'm like, does that really help you make sales? And they're like, I
didn't realize it was a smaller door panel. I thought they'd look normal.
No, I mean, no, they do build full size door panels for display. But
right. I mean, I've seen the little mini ones that they make, and I've seen those in shops where they like, I built that when I went to the school, and I'm like, it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty cool looking. And if you built a full size door panel that looked like that. But if you built a full-size door panel that looked like that and getting it to fit on a vehicle is significantly more challenging than making a flat piece of wood look like a door.
Yeah. I'm about to email myself a video that I took, and I'll show it on stream, show people some of the stuff I was looking at.
Bobby, let me ask you something real quick because I've been thinking about my doors a lot, and I know I built my
very different. They're pretty much a big flat thing.
I know. Well, I've been thinking about it like more recently because my doors, the car is kind of going to be built to be played doors open. So I built my doors to be like the rest of the car, like they're indestructible. They're almost they're super heavy and you can't put a stock panel back on it. I was thinking about maybe just grabbing some stock doors, using the stock panel and doing a panel that's more like what you have built in the big truck. What's it called? I kind of think of the name
Raiden?
of it.
The
Raiden
Raiden,
versus
the bloodbath,
like
whatever the fuck. Yeah.
yeah,
Get
versus
stock
an
doors
actual.
and just sound deaden the shit out of them, like with a bunch of the sundown material, and clean them all up
Right.
and reinforce them so that they're pretty strong, because you're not really going to have them closed typically.
Right.
And then we build a nice door panel that goes on there that also reinforces it. You know, we build a stack that box on the door. We're
but still
reinforcing
like
that door.
but still incorporating the stock upper half or something just to keep it like really
Right. So it has the door handle in the stock
clean
spot and the controls in the same spot or something.
Yeah.
Not that you're gonna
I
have
might do that. I'm
it's not a
thinking
bad
about
idea.
it.
I mean, even
it's
if you
not
went,
that much
shit, I don't
money.
like these, then you set your stock ones aside. You already have the super duper ones built. If you wanted to,
because I mean, I could go to, and then it would give me I'd actually have doors that close and shut again versus now. I mean, you saw how I
just
kept it
fucking
closed with the
strap in
strap.
there. Yeah.
So
Yeah, that'd be
I'm
kind of
thinking
cool.
about it. Maybe go to a pick apart and see if I could grab a couple doors and some panels. And I don't know. Is it easier to build off of a panel like that versus how I have it now, or is it kind of each one has its own challenges?
Almost everything I'm building does not use the factory door panel unless I'm like cutting it and then I'm building below that, because I'm fastening directly to the metal of the door. Even like on the Slam Halen with the 10-inch driver and the tweeters, we had to make a fiberglass piece that fit onto the factory door panel, but we made all of that fasten to the metal door of the truck with like some metal brackets that fastened in there.
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll be fine. Either way is fine. I mean, it'll be easier if you wanted me to make door components that went right on the big heavy doors, but I think it would be better and worth the extra effort to build more standard doors that had just incredible level of reinforcing.
Right.
But dude, the Slam Halen is super motherfucking loud, louder than I expected. And it's awesome. And
turn it down.
The guys were playing it and it broke all. I mean, I don't know how much fatigue. The truck's a 93. I don't know how fatigued and worn out the parts were, but the windows rolled up and down, no fucking problem. And then we got about an hour of playtime on that thing, and we rolled the window down and went to roll it back up, and it was like, bang, bang, the fucking window crashed in the door. It didn't break, but it fucking broke the shit out of like the whole mechanism in there. Colt took it apart, and there was metal ripped and all kinds of shit, and he was fixing stuff, and they got parts, and they put it all back together.
You got a lot of bass in that truck, man. I can imagine.
Yeah, a lot.
Rip it up.
It's fucking
it's a lot.
Than we thought, man. It's like doing really good.
I can't wait to hear it.
Byron
I want to hear those doors.
I got Byron with me over here. He's kind of hard to see.
Oh yeah, Bobby didn't even say it. Byron's back there.
Yeah, Byron's right here. He's hard to see. He's like black, and he's right in front of a big old TV and shit behind him.
No, I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say it.
White Claw fucking can.
Is there a White Claw can floating in the background? Like, what's going on, bro?
What up, Byron? Why don't you get in camera? Shit, hang out with your boys.
Hey,
you fucking asshole.
All right,
that's better.
So, there, you can see him now.
Yeah. What up, dude?
So yeah, Byron's truck. So we got Raiden in the shop right now, and we reupholstered all 4 doors with suede. We stripped the A-pillars, reupholstering the A-pillars with suede. We're going to pull the headliner down and reupholster the headliner components with suede, and then the wood insert pieces, we're going to refabricate those and make it so that you can't see any of the wood fasteners.
This is
that's
on
a shitload of
Byron's
work.
Or on what? What's this going on? On what?
On the Raiden. We're doing all that to the Raiden.
Oh,
and then doing some stuff with that billet acrylic resin pour grill. I'm gonna that center shield. Jim asked. He said he wanted a Gately shield right across the middle. He wants it to say Gately. He doesn't want just the shield shape there. So I've figured out how to do that. And
for the front. You're talking about
Yeah,
the
for the
grill,
front
truck.
center of the
That
grill.
was some, hell yeah, that's gonna look dope.
Yeah, that billet piece that had come off. And then I've been doing a bunch of stuff. We've talked about doing resin stuff and in the past several times. And I've done a little bit of stuff with epoxy, but like when I worked at the fiberglass plant, I'm a composites technician, and I barely worked with epoxies. So I hadn't really bothered with much epoxy stuff at the shop. And we've been struggling with a particular project that we've been on for the last month or so. And we've scrapped 2 of these components that had, multiple resin pores and all of this shaping and grinding and these LEDs embedded in it. And we scrapped one because we fucked the LEDs up. And it's like, all right, we'll start over. So we started over, and then we got like a little further, and then we fucked the LEDs up again. And it was like, oh no. And then we had an adhesion issue.
How are you fucking them up? Like sanding through or something?
Well, yeah. I mean, for the most part, that's really the biggest issue. We had an adhesion issue. It didn't laminate. I didn't get as strong as an adhesion as I normally do with the polyester resin on the acrylic. Normally it fuses really well, but it was only like kind of well. And we were handling the part, it broke free. And then we were like, oh, we got to get it apart and then relaminate it. When we pulled it apart, we ripped the LEDs apart. So it's like, oh, fuck. And like, I'm going to do this with epoxy. And so then it's like, crash course in brain surgery. We're going to learn epoxy. Fucking yay. And so Byron will attest to this. I got the heater set to 85 degrees in my office area, and everybody's like, can we turn that down? I'm like, no. It's 80 in the office all day today. Oh my God. It was fucking, and we were like, Allie and Gavin are, setting up the photo area, and they're moving boxes around and organizing shit. And we're in there fucking just sweating. It was rough, man. It was so much. Yeah. What?
Yeah. They said you have security now.
I'm all the security I need, baby. Fuck you talking about? You stay ready. You ain't got to get ready.
That's right.
If I'm the one that I call, then I'm already there.
So that reminded me of this thing I saw talk about America's military, that America's a war tribe, that it takes a long time to spin up a military apparatus. What if you just never stop?
Yeah.
Like you're always ready if you're always ready. You know what I mean?
They're just stay out there chooching along. We're ready, motherfuckers. Yeah. Ooh, that's some sexy shit right there.
So this is in the back of one of the JL the display cars that was up there. I pulled a couple pictures from my phone real quick. Oh, those were really sweet. No, it's just an SUV. Yeah, okay. Like a hatch or something.
Like an Escalade of some sort, huh?
Cadillac or some shit. Yeah, it's XTR or something. What's that? Fosgate, old Fosgate.
Man, look at that! I never saw the gold case. I've seen the chrome ones.
Wow, those are old.
I've seen the white ones and the black ones, but I never seen one with the gold.
I'm so upset that my uncle. It's partly my fault because he did tell me to take them and I didn't, and he ended up throwing it away. But he had a bunch of Fosgate components and plate stuff from like their first release, new in the box. He's just tired of holding them. Like, why'd you throw them away?
God, threw them away, new in the box.
Threw them away because the foam surrounds were like pretty much gone because they were 30 years old sitting there. But I was like, dude, those are still worth money. And he had like the crossovers that were just saran wrapped. It said Rockford Fosgate on the back with 2 wires coming out. Threw all that shit away. You're an idiot.
That's pretty cool. So those are hard wires, huh? So they bent copper.
Looks like it.
Yeah, that's dope. I love when people do that.
This is the Alpine F1 status demo car.
Oh,
that's this is a Tesla Model S with a full custom dash.
That's pretty cool. You're seeing that through the dash. Oh, that's
you're looking it through the windshield.
God, damn, that's cool.
Yeah,
I like the copper lines. And that's pretty cool looking right there. But I think it was Tim Ballely, right? Am I saying that right? Tim Ballely, like, I don't know, 6 years ago.
They better be how damn expensive they are, bro.
Yeah.
That did one. The first time I saw anybody do that with the hard lines, and it was sexy shit, man. I'd never
That's
seen anything like
beautiful.
it. And it was fucking beautiful.
I think they
Be
could have
hard
done a
to
better
find those
job, but it
images.
is pretty. But those,
That's cool.
those speakers are sick. How much are those, Drew?
I want to say the F1 status when they were only available as the entire kit. You had to buy the speakers, the amp, the processor, and the multimedia unit. It was like 15 grand, maybe 20.
Huh.
It was expensive. It was a lot.
Wow.
So it's too damn much.
Oh yeah, I
What's
want to
next?
fuck around with that Trans Am. I want to do the whole ass interior of everything, but like the stitch stuff, Mike. My boy Mike
It's like a
Sparman's got this
mini
huge
door
project.
panel.
It's pretty dope. That glowing light, that's fucking killing it. God damn.
Yeah, look at the way
That
they did that
handle is a
folded.
sexy
The handle
bitch,
is
too.
dope. Yeah, it's like twisted aluminum
Yeah,
or something. That's sick. Go back to the
I
handle.
mean, it's
real quick,
actually
Steve.
not. It's a fabricated piece, but I don't think they actually, you know what I mean? They machined it that way, but I love that
Okay.
aesthetic. It is sexy as fuck.
That's very, very nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
And then all the lights are back here.
Yeah.
So apparently this was Alcantara laid over the plexi or either, I don't know if it was before or after they laid it over. Then they lasered out the pattern through the Alcantara. So you could see the lights through that. That's Alcantara, and it's been lasered to see that to let the light through.
Okay.
I
That's
wonder
super,
how.
super cool.
I think you could just lay that on the laser and just send it if you can get it to hold flat. Like you put some magnets. I think.
Oh, this was.
So have y'all seen?
Is that his amp? Is that a see-through amp? One of his amps see-through? Is that what
No,
that is?
this is Tony D'Amore's technology he's been developing. That so the amplifiers, like this is a built-in amplifier technology, to where it only pulls, say, 20 amps of current max. That's the max the amp will ever pull. But it can put out up to, a couple thousand watts.
Yeah, it's got batteries inside of it.
Yeah, they have. Yeah,
these right here,
Tony's.
these lithium cells.
Yeah, it's got batteries inside of it.
Tony had two F250s, and we provided him with two of our 6.5 boxes loaded with Alpha Series subwoofers.
Okay.
And I think they had like a 2,000 watt regular Class D amp. Thanks, man.
Okay.
I'll grab another chair real quick.
What's up, yo? What's going
So
on?
basically,
Hey.
what up? So that amp is the amp that he sells now, but it's just in a see-through case. So
Yeah,
it'll
totally
show
fine. That's super
the
interesting.
guts. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, I guess so. That's what it looks like to me.
But I mean, isn't that
It's
kind of
not
what the
really developed by Tony
T15K
D'Amore.
had batteries in it? Isn't that kind
It
of the
has
same?
a max input pull. 22 amps.
Imagine.
It outputs.
Having your batteries in your amp instead of outside your amp.
22 amps input max.
Yeah.
Up to 150 amps output.
But what happens when the batteries die?
Because that lithium.
When the battery inside goes bad.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I just work.
So it's supplementing the current.
I'm just curious.
And
I don't know.
like
Tony's a smart dude. And,
I mean, they could be
all this is on a
lithium
side-by-side,
capacitors though, not lithium batteries. So
music dynamic.
that definitely could.
It would last a lot longer then.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have to worry nearly
builds as it's
about
not
the
fired.
chemistry as you would.
And they're
lithium.
relatively small amplifiers, even though they have that in there. I mean, it's a big amp, but you know what I
I
mean?
bet you they are LICs. I almost guarantee they're LICs.
He told me what they were, but I don't remember. I was too busy focusing on this diamond box I'm about to show you that my eyes
it makes
could not
sense
leave.
that they were it makes sense that they were caps, LICs, because they don't need a ton of capacity. They'll get their capacity from that 20 amps coming in because they'll just burst and fill so fast. That's sick.
Yep. I couldn't stop looking at it, so I told him I want one. I didn't realize that Tony lives here. Diamond Box is here.
He's
that's a lot like my wheels on my truck, kid.
I like those too.
Right? Remember
So
my
here's
truck?
the stage I was talking about.
Okay, it's where they were doing the build off and stuff.
That's what the wheels on my F-150 look like. My ordinary F-150.
What's
Mr. Pate?
Who's Regal? What's his name?
Gary.
Gary Biggs' Regal was there.
Oh, it was there?
Yeah. And giving out demos.
Man, what? It has been changed.
Damn, man, Chip Foose was walking around out there. I was like, damn, man, cool guys.
Wow. What did it cost to go to this? If you don't mind me asking, Drew, I didn't even know it was in Arizona. I would have fucking came to one of these.
To go for the week, I think it's $875.
That's not bad.
So it's $875, and there's multiple training sessions and class sessions. You would know more about that than me. You actually did train. We're doing the training, so
a little bit. Yeah, so there, like Drew said, there's a bunch of training sessions. There's lots of booth time, so you can go through there's a lot of like live demonstrations, like the wire challenges and all of the fabrication challenges.
As we were talking about earlier,
I was pretty disappointed because I walked up there and a bunch of guys grinding with a right angle grinder and no safety glasses. I was like, come on, guys. But
I would have made him stop.
Ultimate...
I don't play that shit. I don't know. You guys are gonna stop what you're doing, bitches.
DQ'd.
Yeah.
DQ'd because it's not safe. I have the ultimate grinding disc at my house right now.
Is it diamond?
It may as well be made of diamond. Bobby had it sent to me because there was a thing he wanted me to modify. The person that never reached out, whatever. And now I have this blue grinding wheel that if you just think about touching wood with it, it takes off like a half inch of wood.
That's right. I sent that to you.
Yeah, because I was supposed to fix something, but he never reached out. But so I use it to modify enclosures.
What's it called?
Cutsall.
Cutsall.
It's what I use to shape the boxes with. Steve, bring up that video of me grinding that motherfucking box.
It's on Instagram, right?
It's on Instagram. Go to it's on mine and Allison's.
Yeah.
Bobby and Gately.
It's going to be a ways down there, yeah?
Yeah, because
it'll be 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Might be easier to find on mine.
They do super nice underseat enclosures, like $1,000 plus epoxy. He does astounding work. Nice. So same thing as like the epoxy tables, amazing work. Always working with wood. It's funny how like dudes who like Bobby always work with wood. The other guy always work with wood. People always end up with the same tools.
Yeah,
you get real good at something.
Sure, yeah.
Like all the guys who are getting real good at stereos all have Maxes. This is weird.
That's weird.
Bobby, don't you have Max? Yeah.
So
I don't have one. I'm good at stereos.
No, yours effectively.
No, you're not. You ain't got a Max, son.
Fuck you, bitch. I got it in my ears.
So,
I'm
properly introduce Nick
my
here.
My friend has one.
Max is effectively his creation. So Nick is effectively the creator of the Max.
Son of a bitch.
Our gentleman here. Super smart guy, man. He got some knowledge in that noodle. He's pretty.
Before we move on to smart knowledge,
let's do brute strength and stupidity.
I don't know if he needs to hear this right now, but
nice music, bro.
No, the audio is so good. Listen to the audio.
Yep.
But if he didn't have his safety glasses, he'd be in a bind, and that's exactly what.
He's like, as long as I got glasses, I don't need a respirator. I'm good. I
if the chunks coming off that motherfucker are not vapor, you aren't inhaling those. They're fucking big chunks.
I like that you got the guard still on there. I need to practice that.
You need the guard. My guys are not allowed to take the guard off. You don't want the guard not on that motherfucker. That thing will take your fucking whole arm off.
That's a fact.
Bro, so when I was cutting the back of when I was cutting the back out of the Explorer tailgate, right away, like right when I had the guard on it, but I had all my gear on. Luckily, like I grind with a full grinding shield, so I had that on. And within like 5 seconds, this fucker caught and it exploded, and it just smashed me in all over the ground. Like if I didn't have any gear on, I would have had. I don't know how many shards.
You would have been one.
I seen where a dude had like big
goggles
on, and there was half a fucking grinding disc in his fucking face like this. Just
those videos are always people to watch, man.
Dude, you have to wear like I will not do any metal cutting with those. What are they called? Just they're really thin discs. The cutting disc. Like those things are so fragile. If you make
but if you have the guard on there, the motherfucker's only going one way. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, I get it. But it's moving so fast that like you're not You're not moving out of the way. Like people who think like, oh, this shit breaks,
No,
I'll
no.
be fine. No, dude.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
need
I
full
can fucking
protection.
catch a
That's why
bullet
you-
with my teeth. I'll catch that fucking.
Yeah.
That's why y'all see the videos of the guys
grinding
who
disc
holding
in their
the
fucking teeth.
cutoff wheel, then they show the selfie, big grinding disc in their face.
Dude,
Oh, dude.
when I was 13 years old, I was 7th grade, and the belt sander at the junior high, the belt fucking exploded off of there and hit me in the face. There was a big ass gouge across my safety glasses, and I don't know if you can see it. I got a scar on my nose over here. But yeah, and that shit was there. You barely, I'm like fucking damn near 50 years old now. Here we are.
The service is fantastic, man. It's being slow.
Yeah.
But, I'll try to pull up some of your work, Bobby.
Yeah, I don't fuck around with I don't do China freight cutoff wheels, and I don't
No, he does not.
no safety glasses. Fuck that shit. My guys wear safety glasses when they're doing anything that's spinning tools. You know what I mean?
Smart man.
Yeah, so Brandy isn't. I used to not. Now I always wear PPE now. But I was working my doors. I had that blue cutoff wheel, grinding wheel, and Brandy. I was working my doors. Brandy comes outside. I'm picking up the grinder. She's like, "Where are your safety glasses at?" Like real sarcastically, like I didn't have them. As I picked them up from right next to me and put them on, I'm like, "Right here, thank you." Like you can thank Bobby.
No,
I'll flip out. Also,
now.
like, I'll tell you
Fuck
something, man. It's kind of fucked up. I know 2 people that had cars fall on them that didn't have jack stands.
Oh,
They both died.
if it goes in the air, there's a jack stand under
They
it.
both died,
Yeah.
dude.
Both the
always very
motherfuckers
scared
died.
about that. Even with jack
dude.
stands, I
Man.
always fucking
I
hate getting under
fucking
cars.
and I pull a wheel off, and that's under there too. I'm just putting everything under the fucking.
Oh yeah,
thing.
I'm giving myself every opportunity.
Yeah, toolbox. That's with there. That fuck it. I'm scooting that in there. Fuck it.
All
This
of it.
whole fucking thing come crashing down. I'll be all. Oh, it's a good thing I had that wheel and that toolbox and that
Right
jack
in the
stand
back.
and the jack and my
Buddy of ours,
fucking
he's-
lunchbox.
Truck driver, great dude.
Yeah.
I guess he said he just ended up in Bobby's area. Just chilling
Wait,
in the back.
wait. Was Byron the one you sold all the wires to with the batteries?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm. No, did I?
Byron's the homie. Byron is
jump
Soulgasm on
Oh
Instagram.
no,
You
that's
guys
not
can
who.
follow him.
That was a local guy. That was a local guy. No, he's talking about the jump battery I sold to a guy. He wanted an 80 amp hour LTO to use to jumpstart big rigs.
Fuck.
Yeah.
What?
I got this massive battery bank. They don't even realize, like, they know what it'll do, but they don't realize what it could do. You know?
Yep. I mean, I warned him. Like, look, charge it like this.
careful with
Do
those
this. Don't blow it up.
Clamps, bruh.
Don't blow it up.
Sliding around and shit.
So
who we got with you, Drew? In the middle. I mean,
we got Matt. We know
Yeah.
Matt. This is
Yep.
Nicholas
Matt.
Ames, Jail Audio. He basically
Hello, Nick.
the brain behind the Max that we've all been talking about a lot lately.
Oh,
It's-
shit.
Yep, he's
Hey, man, we appreciate
wealth
you.
of knowledge.
Great to
Yeah,
meet you,
no,
man.
Bet.
Bobby picked up a Max
Sweet.
just recently.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Hey, Matt,
Yeah,
did
he,
you get that curve wrap fucking tattoo yet?
Not yet.
Oh, like a face wrap around
Around the arm, not around the arm.
not around
man.
Hell yeah.
So I went
That's
out
awesome.
when I first got my Max. I had maybe a month or two kind of figuring it out. Bobby brought me out to kind of they had a big F450, big stereo. He's like, play around with it, see what we can do. We can learn from each other. I'm like, oh, yeah, absolutely. And he was checking it out. I was like, I like that. He's like, I think I'm gonna get one. And then, sure enough, a couple months later, he's like, I want one.
Cool.
Boom, got it. And then he's like, got one. All right, ASQS. Mario, let's go.
Nice.
Yeah, me and Colt went out there.
Oh, right. Yeah, am I allowed in here? Right, yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Right, I'm the
So
outcast.
what I hear is this is what Jeffrey said. The more beard you have, the worse you are at tuning.
Damn it.
I thought about. I was like, "Oh, that's funny, Jeffrey. You don't have a okay, got it.
He's a king of growing
You're
beard.
funny guy."
Fucking-
But
So-
I
so,
shaved my
uh,
nuts. Does that count? No.
almost.
Yes, no.
So I'm
So
here at
then,
JL Audio until Friday for Max certification training. First one ever.
It's going to be
That's
a long
super
couple days.
I didn't
but
realize. You know,
really
I would have signed Colt up for that if I knew, but I wanted him to have more experience, and I thought it was necessary. But
That's good. That's good.
but
We'll
the
do
next
more.
one, like whenever the next one is, I'm fucking sending him, and maybe I'll go too, or I don't know.
Yeah, we'll
We're gonna figure out
discuss
if I can
that
afford
because
that shit.
just so you know, it is limited attendance. We like this one here. I think we have 16 attendees that were selected for the first one.
After we took a test to prove we had enough knowledge.
Not. It wasn't about the knowledge. We had everybody.
No, that's how I felt it.
We had everybody take a quiz
You had to
so that
pass
we
it.
could see how familiar you are with Tune and Max because. It's going to range. There's going to be a wide variety of applicants.
Yeah, you don't want to spend a bunch of time teaching everybody a bunch of basic ass shit. It's advanced.
There are people here that are closer to beginners, and then there's people here like Drew who are very, well into Mac. So there is a range. It wasn't about how well you knew it. We just wanted to gauge the audience and the people that entered. We kind of selected different people from different places around the country that we thought would be beneficial. He talks about Macs more than anybody I know on Facebook.
And I'm the third best user in the room. Come on.
That is
I got to get
funny.
hey, they say if you're the best in the room, you got to leave the room. So I guess I'm doing it.
That'd be you, Matt. Go.
No, it's not.
Jeez.
So
the next time around, I would love for you guys to consider my head installer, Colt. He's my main dude. He's my right hand man, and he's been that for 20 years.
Yeah, I met Colt.
Amazing. He has a little trouble with computer stuff because he's never owned his own computer. But man, he's a very smart guy, so he sorts things out pretty well. And when he gets real stuck, it's always something really funny. We got to teach him basic shit about computers, but otherwise,
I was talking to him. They were getting the Slam Halen going Friday, and he called me. He's like, "Hey, this thing's." He's like, "I can't get the sound to come out of Tweak." I was like, "All right, let me see what you're doing." He showed me. So he was trying to use optical out of Max into Tweak plugged in, but the Tweak was set up for RCA.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So what I've been doing for Tweaks is I'll just set them up as optical, and that's just how it's going to be. And so that way you can tune optical, you can do whatever you want with optical,
right.
and just use channels 3 and 4 for RCA input.
Yeah.
So I set it up. Like he said, he's figures it out real quick. I was like, I sent him a file. I said, look, just load that and just optical in for tuning, and then just switch the inputs to RCA to play truck, ready to go. And he
That's
had it.
pretty smart.
He was going quick.
I mean, in retrospect, maybe that's the way it should be.
That was the first thing that I thought. I was like, man, this is how it should always be.
Yeah.
Nick was not here when the original Tweak and Fix were designed, as neither was I.
No.
And we didn't really have much part in those products. But moving forward,
so the fact that you made it in a interface as well as it does, which don't get me wrong, it's clunky and frustrating, but it's still awesome. It's like, oh, what the fucking goddamn, this is cool. Oh my god, you're like, oh, that's so much fun.
Once you get familiar with Tune, really familiar with it, you're gonna not want to use anything else. It's great. And the integration of Max with all that, I like it.
What
I like
I'm
it a lot.
understanding is the things that made me not a big fan of Tune initially are really what kind of make it awesome, and it has to be that way. So as not straightforward and easy to understand as it is because it's powerful. It's like Fusion 360, right? I've been a CAD designer with AutoCAD, which is an Autodesk product, since I was 14 years old. So that's a long fucking time ago. That's the 80s, okay? And I've never not had AutoCAD, and I've always used it in everything I fucking do all the time. And I'm super experienced. But when I wanted to learn Fusion 360, I couldn't draw a fucking circle and a square on that motherfucker.
That's how I felt.
Pissed. I was struggling so bad. I was sweating. I had started sober, but by the time I had been trying for a long time and I watched a bunch of videos and shit, I was half drunk. I was through a bottle of wine, and I was like, never mind. I'll try again tomorrow. I'm a little too drunk. I closed my computer and I didn't go back to it for a year. So Tune is kind of like that for me. I've tuned a bunch of DSPs. When I got into trying to tune a JL DSP and working with Tune, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? This is weird. This doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand why this is this way. And it was difficult. But now, because we have the Max. We know this is all more powerful, and we know it's a better tool and it's far more advanced. You start to, as you learn the software and you learn how all this shit works, you go, it has to be this way if it's this powerful. So you just gotta fucking stay on course and do the work. And if you keep doing the work, you'll get better.
It's just like Photoshop or any of those.
That's right.
High-end
more than once when I was first starting, where I would just get very overwhelmed with stuff. Like on the way to see Bobby, actually, I'd stayed up super late the night before, and I downloaded some videos of the Max training from YouTube. I'm like, I'm gonna watch it on the way there. I'm tired, but it's fine. I turn it on. It's Working with Phase Part 2. Turn it on, hit play. He is speaking for 33 seconds, and I just shut it. Like, no, can't do it. It's just too much. I get very frustrated with it.
I heard that story.
Dude, it was so true. I was like, nope, not today.
Drew arrived, and it was 111 degrees in
the hottest California's like ever been.
Yeah, shit.
Tweet.
He's dying.
Needs a laptop.
He's fucking literally dying of heat.
Tune
and
with different apps. I think iPad, right? iPad.
Yeah, but does the BTC doesn't communicate with
Oh,
Tweak,
that's right. Yeah. So the BTC is only on VXI.
So Tweak,
VXI, MVI.
So Tweak does need a laptop.
Requires a computer, a Mac or a PC.
So Tweak requires a computer. MVI or VXI, which are the amplifiers with the built-in DSP, can be controlled via tablet or phone or anything like that.
That's
because that's how I tune. That's how I play a lot.
If you had an Android audio or an Android screen, like, and Linkswell is making some pretty cool products. I don't know if they're all the way there.
Your radio.
Yeah,
really?
But
yeah, if you have
I had a
radio.
Linkswell in my F-150. I don't know, like 4 years ago, and I put the Audio Dynamics DSP tuning app on that motherfucker.
That's
and
smart.
I'd be driving along and I'd be hearing a song and I'd hear something funny and I'd be like, what frequency is that? And I'd be like, we had a light making massive DSP tunes and I'd be like, oh, I got it. And I'd make that one song sound great and fuck everything else up and be like, motherfucker.
Every time. I have the iPad in my dash and I have the VXI Bluetooth piece and I'll be at a red light like, that didn't sound right. Let me mess with time real quick while I'm doing this. I know I shouldn't be doing it, but let me just see what happens.
Yeah, of all the bad ideas, and then you don't, and then you hit green lights.
I was doing that later.
You hit green lights for 30 minutes straight, wishing you'd hit one so you can fix what you just fucked up. And you're like, oh my god.
Luckily,
I gotta remember all the shit I just fucked up.
No, not with Tune or Tweak. You do not. No, sir.
I mean, on the Audio Dynamics, I could go back, but sometimes I'd be like, I was good a few minutes ago, but I haven't saved.
How far back do I need to go?
Yeah,
I think we let you go back at least 100 steps.
Yeah, no, but I don't want to go. Sometimes I don't want to go back that far.
Yeah, but if that was the only change you made,
That's never the only change. Come on, that's a problem. We never make one change at a time. We'll make like 10 and be like, oh, what did I screw
because
up?
you start getting hella carried away, and you're all beep a bop, beep a bop. Ooh, yeah, oh yeah, that's great. And you're like, all right, let me go back to that primary reference song. Let me go to Don't Stand So Close to Me.
Peppery Man.
And you're like, oh man, I fucked it up.
All right, well, we got another visitor here. I'm gonna head out stage left.
Yeah, me too.
But good to see you guys.
Yeah, I told you,
Matt, I'll pay for that tattoo if you really get it.
I don't control the room. This ain't my room.
If you come to SAC, I'll have it done at the tattoo shop next door of my shop.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I will fucking do it. It'll be a girl tattoo artist. So there's that.
No, it's gotta be a man.
A big man. That's like
Thanks,
got
man.
a hold of me. He's like, quit scoring, stop moving around. I spilled water all over myself doing that. I suppose that's kind of like really how the reenactment would go.
Probably. So this is Scott. For everyone who doesn't,
Scott.
Bobby knows Scott.
I know Scott.
Yeah.
Scott's awesome. Colt fucking loves you, Scott. He's like, that dude's hella cool. He helps me with everything. And I'm like, fuck yeah, that's what's up. He's a smart guy.
So, wrong button. There we go.
Okay, well, who's Scott?
How
I
did,
don't know
how did it
Scott.
go when you changed that tune frequency in your truck or your car, Scott?
On mine?
Didn't you raise the fucking crossover point up to 900 or
On the
1,000
mid-range?
hertz? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark
I
was
have to
right.
kiss my own ass. It turned out pretty good, actually. I didn't
You
think
can
it would
kiss your
actually
own
work
ass?
as well as it would. I'm gonna have to because I was like, there's no way that's gonna work. I really didn't think it would turn out in a positive way. Actually, it made a huge difference in the car. So once again, Mark Eldridge was right. Who would have guessed?
Who would have thought it?
Yeah.
Who would have thought Mark would be perfectly right?
So-
Which is funny that remember we had the opposite conversation. I had done that inadvertently, thinking that it was something about the speakers or the signal that was causing it to break up, and I had been raising it. And I got to 700, and it was so good I stopped, but I had wished as soon as he was talking about that and talking about your car, I had wished I had gone higher to see what it did for me, but it was really, 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 really good at 700.
Steve, Scott is a. Who are you?
He's a
Just-
tech.
I'm a man.
He's a tuner. He's at a shop in Lawrence, Kansas. And he's just a cool dude. And he has like half his vision right now.
Half
So
of it.
Okay.
he can only see in mono. He can't see the stereo right now.
Yeah.
Shit
Okay,
gets
so you're
wild
there-
out there at the Master Tech, huh?
I was gonna say, yeah. Okay.
Scott's the
And
only
he-
one that got that joke. I think Byron caught onto it because he knows my humor. But yeah,
Oh Lord. But no, he's one of the boys. First time meeting him was the first ASQS that I went to in August, and now just one of the boys.
Yeah, it's funny because I was like, man, we got a bass head here. Like that hasn't happened at one of these classes. And then here comes the next class that he's at, and you get to hear the truck. And you're like, it was really surprising because you were like, oh yeah, this SPL guy, he wants me to hear his truck. That's pretty damn good, and I mean like really, really good. It's gonna hurt some feelings this year. I can't wait to.
Are you on Aggie?
I'm gonna try making it down to Aggie.
If you made the Aggie, you're gonna quite like it because it's way better.
My feelings first.
That's right. My feelings are gonna be hurt by all the on-axis speakers.
Oh yeah,
All the
guys
on-axis speakers.
Yeah, those dumbasses tune on axis too.
If you're not waving your 5 mic array around your head, what are you even doing?
Yeah.
no, dude, you just stick it in your beard and fucking do like this.
If I got the hard side of Velcro, it would probably hold. It'd have to be the really good stuff from Hobby Lobby though.
Or if your beard was real sticky.
Heyo.
right,
It is
so-
Master Tech.
It is Master
Let me,
Tech. Or I mean, you could probably just stick it to your eyeball, right?
Yeah.
Fucking,
Let me ask
how's
a
that
question.
stand there? I got jizz in my
Then all I
eyes.
gotta do is look. I just gotta look at what I want to tune, and it'll be focused on that
Perfect.
speaker. And
Oh yeah, you just tune the one. You just fucking.
Yeah, and then I'll do it, and somebody will see me do it, and then next season
You'll be
there'll
guys
be
with
a bunch of guys doing
microphones.
it.
What you got, Steve?
You should make a fucking hat that has the array on it. It's actually not a bad idea at all. I think it'd be bitching.
I'll sacrifice a hat for that. for
I
this
actually
weekend.
have
A hard
the
hat.
mic mount stuff with me,
We're doing that.
and
No,
Drew
it
has a hat
causes
that I'd be
reflections,
willing to
so you can
volunteer
fuck
for
the whole
this.
thing up.
I have a hat. I have a base holic hat in my bag. We can drill a hole right in the middle of it. What you got, Steve? Sorry.
5 holes.
No, you're
Five
good. I was
fucking
gonna.
holes.
I was just gonna ask a question to kind of, since we didn't talk about our topic of.
I was going to bring that up in the next couple minutes. I was going to bring up the
I
topic.
figured we'd get an hour in before we talked about what our fucking topic is.
Yeah, I
actually
mean, we
have
don't
quite
even
a
have
bit to say
anything
about
for our
that.
topic, anyways. But what I was gonna ask you, since you guys both compete SQ, like, what are your go-to songs that you compete with, or are there a set of songs that you have to use? I have no idea how that's
My
gonna
one
work.
song that I've listened to on every car I tune, Randy Travis, I Told You So. It's been a song I've used for 4 or 5 years now.
As far as
It's
actually,
consistent.
sorry, as far as actually competing, the judges have their own
Yeah.
stuff they play.
Wow.
They actually
Okay, so you
adopted
don't-
that song for this year, if I remember right, which is going to take all the fun out of it for me because I'm going to hear it way too often.
Yeah.
And,
They're like,
and do you
normally
guys,
there's a judge have like a particular track list that they play and that they play
so
in every
going
vehicle.
into it, do you know what tracks they're gonna play in your car or no?
Yeah. So IASCO will
Okay.
give you a disc, and it has the same tracks that you're going to judge in every vehicle.
And then there's like at Aguilera that we're talking about coming up on April 1st and 2nd, there's the class called the Money Round, where I think first, I don't know the totals, but last Money Round event I attended, first place is $4,000, second place is $3,000, third place is $2,000, etc. So they give you the
Nice.
list of tracks ahead of time, and you got to prepare for it.
Okay. Yeah, I figured
hoping
that
to
you
get
have to kind of
seventh
be.
place.
Gotta
I
have
didn't know
obstacles
competing money round.
rebase all them shits on the front end, baby. Ooh.
Rebase all the tracks and be like, it's in there, bud. Play it. I should have the Tahoe compete money round.
So my the first show I went to was SVR 2018, and there's a track from Allison Krauss. It doesn't matter. It's a really cool track. And about 50 seconds into the track, there's a shitload of bass, and I was completely unaware of that. So I have like the sunroof cracked. We're in a big old hangar, and I got like Michael Myers and Bruce Miller and Joseph Davis and a bunch of other competitors around me, and we're all like 4 or 5 feet apart, and I'm in the car listening at a decent level, and this bass line rolls in, and on my software, my sub was full tilt because there was no bass in the song. Why would I turn it down? And that was one of my oh shit moments where I learned to track really fast. I was panicking trying to get the bass knob down, but I'm hooked up to the computer, so the computer's controlling it. Rookie of the year move right there. Like that will probably not be forgotten.
Was it bottoming out,
anybody
doing the
in
whole
24
fucking
radius.
thing, or what?
The what?
Was the sub just fucking bottoming out, going like wild, or was it?
It wasn't
just
bottoming
real
out, but it was definitely letting its presence be known.
So they're like inside of a hangar, so big metal building, and he's letting his W7.
It was I had a W6
E.
at the time, and yeah, she was going ham.
They don't like loud noises.
No.
At SQ
I
competition.
know. So my fun SQ demo, best demo I've ever had with an SQ car, and I loved it. It sounded fucking outstanding. I was at Surf City, this really nice silver Mercedes. I really wish I remembered this gentleman's name. I'm really working at remembering people's names better. But this gentleman, he had 3 12s and an infinite baffle and 2 10s in the kicks that were his mid-bass drivers, also infinite baffle. Big ass Dyne Audio tweeters that looked like flux capacitors, and these big ass, I think they were like a 4-inch tweeter and a 4-inch mid in these A pillars. Center channel, this thing sounded fucking beautiful, and it was like pretty loud. And I was like, can you crank it up? And he was like, well, I could give it a little bit more. Let me turn it up for you. And he beep-boppled around in his DSP, and he turned that motherfucker up a little bit extra for me. And he was giving it, and it was getting it. It was jamming. Now,
did this guy, did he happen to sound like a California beach bum?
No, he was.
Did he look like a California beach bum?
He's an Asian dude.
Nope. It's not who we thought it was.
Super duper nice guy. Very, he's like well spoken, like not me at all. It's a fucking super chill, super smart man. And he was amazing. And
Judge comes over.
He's fucking rocking. And next thing you know, there's a judge in the windshield, like, and I'm like, what the fuck's he doing? And he's like, oh man, we're too loud. And I'm like, if you're in a car, here's the thing about SQ. If you're in a car over there, I don't care if it's 2 spots away, and there's somebody else listening to a car, and you're too loud, whatever you're judging
loses.
It's not loud enough. If something else can interfere with what's happening in the car, whatever you have, that's not loud enough. And I know that that's not how SQ works, but that's how I work because no.
Sorry. Well, a lot of the shows are indoors, so they resonate, but they'll listen to them between like 96 dB and 106. And that was kind of one of the other things that, I had to learn really quick. I didn't know where the hell they wanted me to, set the volume and
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for that. I think it was Emma. Is it Emma or Mask that tells you, they ask you what volume to play it at. I'm like, oh, whatever you want, bro. Turn it to what you like. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like, no, you have to tell me the volume.
Yeah, there's only a
Dude,
couple.
106
bro.
dBs is so quiet. Like,
Yeah, I can
That's
talk over that.
weird,
The
dude.
stock audio system in most cars is louder than that. And then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, but it doesn't sound anything like that. I'm like, I don't fucking care. If it's only 106 dBs, I'm disappointed. I don't give a fuck.
you
what's
can run
in there.
129.9 in base race with a fucking rental car.
With
The
stock
louder you
fucking
go,
audio.
though, the
So
more you
I need to make
depth
like
you're
the
entertaining.
Gately sound quality league. And if
Well,
your shit's not
they're
doing
not
a
talking
140
about,
out the gate, you fucking lost.
They're not
It's
talking
over,
DBC.
bitch.
So, like 129 DBC, like bass, is loud, but 129 dBA, which is what mids and highs are, would deafen you.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to hear properly for weeks. That's loud. It's loud.
Okay. So
Like
that's what
100
I'm misunderstanding.
Like whenever I tell people like who aren't bass heads, like, oh, my truck does a 164, they're like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine driving over 125 in that thing.
Because 160 like through like at a concert or like mids and highs,
You
deaf.
die.
That's it. You're never hearing again, ever.
Okay, so
Okay,
What
not
is-
140 anymore.
what is loud then on mids and highs?
My Tahoe, I put the max in my Tahoe, turned off all the safety limits on the mics. I got full range, volume all the way up in mids and highs is 120 in the Tahoe. Subs off 120, and that's like full demo volume. You can hear it over the 100. You can hear it with 160 dB of bass. So it's
Okay.
120.
And is it similar on a graph as like when you say 106 here? So 106 is probably pretty fucking loud.
106 is a lot. 106 dBA is jamming. It's pretty up there. Like
But
actually,
110
you can
would
test
be
this.
more
So
like-
you have Max. So Max will show in the meters and gains
Okay.
section. You can put it in something. You can see how loud it is with the subs off.
So
You
I
can
need to
find
do
out.
the rating
Yeah,
and see
do
what
the rating.
so
That's a
that
good
I
example.
understand. So I understand what like Scott is talking about when he says 98 to 106, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know, my
Yeah.
mind is like, and you know what? It goes back to the people that see a video of something playing, and they go, "What's that doing on a meter?" And I'm like, "Why does that even matter? What the fuck?"
Yeah, it's fucking
You know what I mean?
loud. It's distorting the windshield.
Yeah, it's just you're clipping your windshield, bro.
So the other thing, you know, when you look at it from the judge's aspect, you know, they're in 40, 50 cars a day. You know, if they were listening,
Oh, they'd be all fatigued. It wouldn't even fucking matter.
Man.
I mean,
Yeah, their ears would be shot by noon.
Yeah.
So, you know, at a nominal listening
Sucks.
level, at least that they throw on a set of headphones, recalibrate, and hit the next vehicle.
and I didn't even think about that until I went to Maida Steel in Florida. You know, Florida's very known for their stunt walls. Very known for it. Me and Steven brought the van Friday night, dropped it off, hung out. We left Friday night on the way back to the Airbnb or hotel. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, I was driving my truck and I was like, oh, that's really muffled. Oh, shit. So now I wear earplugs at basically all the big shows because it's just
Yeah.
ruining your hearing.
So what's crazy is, you know, I'm a Deadliest Demo judge, right? Steve has had me there every year. We've had the Deadliest Demo at Slamology. I get in the loudest vehicles in the world, literally all of them, and they give me the fucking business. Now, I have new rules about shit. I'm not getting inside and closing a fucking door on an extreme vehicle. Fuck that shit. I'm not
Nope.
doing it. But also, I hear all of those motherfuckers in the weekend. Those fucking Terra amps, stunt wall, fucking things that they had
that will
out
hurt
there
your hearing more
in
than the bass will.
2021 from 100 yards away hurt my ears more than anything I climbed inside of all weekend.
That was
And-
19. Yeah.
And they were
Oh, yeah.
fucking awful. At a football field away, I was like, that sounds like shit. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then- And
heard your hearing way.
Blake's van that John owns now, that Sky High owns now, the shit show is what we named it. Allison
Yeah.
named it that. The shit show from anywhere, even right near it, sounded fucking outstanding.
so
So-
loud. It was like
Loud and beautiful. Whereas
12,
those
12
fucking things out there, there was an
boy
orange
in the
one
back,
and a
and then-
blue one, and they looked. I was like, that looks cool. Ooh, I'm not going anywhere near that shit. What the fuck is going on over there? And that
Yeah.
shit hurt my ears worse than goddamn Nick Hutchinson's steel monster 170 vehicle that was throwing windshield parts across the fucking parking lot. So
Yeah, you're gonna love the street battle stuff once you get experience.
I'm
to
excited
it,
about
'cause
that. I
what
really
you
need
like,
to see
and-
that.
and,
That shit needs to happen.
I want to go tune one of those really good, like one of the big street battle vehicles. I had I said two
you
Price's
could probably
Tahoe.
make
They sound
so much money, Drew, in
fantastic.
New York and Philly.
I want to go
cars.
check some of those out.
Those guys
I wanna go
spend
tune some of
a
those.
shit ton of money, not only on their cars, but they play for a lot of money. Those battles are for tens of thousands of dollars a lot
Yeah, I
of
want
times.
to go check some of that.
They
And
don't
actually,
fuck around.
JL sells something that'd be
Those
perfect.
guys are going to
for
be
that.
laughing at the raid and they're going to be talking shit about it. When it's
No,
like,
the Raiden would do pretty well, honestly.
Wait,
Really?
It'd probably be in
That's
heavyweight,
just
but it would do
for-
pretty well. Yeah.
But so Bobby, for tuning stuff like that with the Max, JL sells 100-foot extensions for the mics.
we
For the
got them
cables.
all right. We bought them all from you, didn't we, Scott?
Yes, sir.
Damn, I ain't got those yet.
You didn't mess around.
Hell yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, do it.
Yeah. Hey, my
Hey,
buddy
I
Bobby
bought
was
the,
telling me earlier, Max.
I bought
Oh,
the
cool.
Tannoy 8s. Scott,
Yeah,
Drew.
the Tannoys.
No shit.
Yeah, I saw it in his.
I ordered them
well-
while we were sitting there. As soon as he was like, "You need something, and you can get this or that," and I was like, "That it is."
So Steve Mead posted a video showing the 33 Build 33. He walked into Bobby's office. Like, hey man, I really appreciate it. As he pans, I see two big gold speakers. I was like, things.
What'd you
Byron.
buy, Bobby?
Byron
What
heard
is
him. I
it?
gave him some Tannoy demos. I have no sub yet, too. And were they banging? They sound
It's hard to
fucking
imagine a
great.
guy like you
And
with
I have
sub.
no acoustic phone
Drew, pull
yet.
a picture up. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I don't have a fucking picture of them yet.
I
I'm
got
No, no,
stupid.
Drew will pull it up. What are they?
So
They're
it's-
8-inch what? Mids?
They're
It's
Tannoy
they're called reference
Tannoy 8s.
monitors.
They're amplified,
Tannoy?
high-end monitor speakers.
Tannoy.
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 Okay, Tannoy.
They sound super good.
Are they
I
for the
fucking love
house or
them.
are they for
This
the
is
car?
part of why I want to talk
No.
about music. I want to tell you my music story. I was surprised that I got this far. I was like, if we don't start talking about music at the 1 hour point, I'm gonna fucking bring it up. But yeah,
Okay.
I got a pair of those, and they're
So
fucking
it's-
beautiful.
And
How
it's
much
really
are they?
fun because like a lot of the SPL
I think
guys,
I paid $730 shipped.
Let's see.
Okay.
Tannoy 6.5 because they make two sizes.
No.
Is
Tannoy
$299 a piece. So the 8s are
No,
gonna be a
no,
little
no.
more than that.
Tannoy 8, right there. It was right next to it.
No price on here, but
I ordered them from somewhere else because I couldn't find them on Amazon. So I went right to wherever it took me, and I just
Okay.
ordered them. And it was like $736 shipped. I could be wrong as
there it is.
fuck.
$698.
700. Yeah, $700.
Yeah, and
Okay.
so Tannoys are some of the sets that Mark Elders uses and recommends for building your own reference system to know what it's supposed to sound like.
yeah, anybody that's
I
gonna
just
get
need a
into-
sub and some acoustic foam, and I'll be good. But I'm super indecisive about acoustic foam because most acoustic foam is ugly as fuck, and if it's not, it's really expensive. And so then I'm all on the fence about it, and I've
It's
been
kinda like
looking at.
women.
Now I picture Scott with two pieces of
In a dress.
acoustic foam.
What?
He's just-
It's you can either get acoustic phone off Wix.com or you can.
I mean, like, these panels look pretty good.
yeah. But like
Yeah,
I
but do they
said,
have
the
them in
really
this
ones that
pastel
look
green?
really good are really expensive.
Oh, everything in this room is absolutely expensive.
Yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
Fucking
So I see,
C7s.
you can't see them.
You know what's
How
funny
much
though?
is a set of C7 three ways? Like it's a bunch.
Yeah, like 2,800.
So you see those that wood?
Hey Bobby, what are those?
Those are mechanical spatial restoration units.
Attaboy.
Ooh, I like those ones a lot more though.
Oh
Those ones
man.
are fucking beautiful.
Those are like the ones that Raphael's got in his studio.
John
The ones you
Nolte
showed
made
the
some
last one.
really sexy ones a handful of years ago, and I have
Were
a
they
whole bunch of
diffusers?
ideas on how to make something like that really amazing.
Yeah,
Have you ever
I
seen
want a set of
Raf's?
these.
These are sick. Let me look his up.
I have not. Hey, did you
But yeah,
guys see the ones I made on the inside of that motherfucking box that everybody was talking shit about 4 years ago at Sky High?
Yep. They basically built.
Like, why the fuck did you do that? Like, I don't know. It looks super duper cool.
Then he
bitch.
put the
You
amps and
wish you would have
batteries
thought of
inside
it,
the
you
box.
hater.
People were talking
So-
so much shit.
Out of curiosity, how long did it take you to make those hot tubs? For
Hot
Steve.
tubs?
Oh,
Oh,
the
Me?
box.
I didn't make any of that shit. My technicians built those. The first one I would say was 20 to 25 hours of labor. The second one was probably 12.
Yeah, because you had to figure out how to do it. I wanted it.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
dude,
guys are fucking great, man. I fucking literally love the fucking hell out of all of them. You know, Anthony.
I'm sure you saw the photos of the in Steve.
Yeah.
That's crazy looking.
Oh,
You know
it
his
looks
house
cool.
is suffering. There's
Oh,
no
dude, I'm
way.
like,
Maybe
God damn, you're
suffering.
gonna break
Oh,
shit
maybe.
in there just watching a
He lives
fucking
like a
movie.
Yeah, he lives like top of a mountain or something
Probably
crazy.
out there causing avalanches.
He
and
lives
shit.
a mile from my mother-in-law, probably a football field if you go as the crow flies, right? Her house is on this side of the mountain, Steve's is on this side of the mountain. There's no road that goes straight over the top because her house is at the top of the road and his house is at the top of the road on the other side. It's pretty cool.
Huh.
That's
But
pretty
yeah.
cool. Yeah,
I'm like, I want to go over there and be like on the phone and be like, crank that shit up. If I can hear that motherfucker through a mountain.
you could absolutely hear it. There's 100% chance. 'Cause you just know his the big bay window. Yeah, you should know that whole thing is just gyrating.
I drove the Slam Halen to Jiu-Jitsu today. Jiu-Jitsu is about 1.5 miles from my shop. Fucking awesome for me, right? I lit that thing off full tilt as soon as I left Jiu-Jitsu, and it took me about 8 minutes to get to the shop. They said they heard me coming for 5 fucking minutes before I
believe it.
arrived. I'm like, that's a mile, probably. Maybe 3/4 of a mile. They heard me coming. And I was playing Rusticle's Hey Brother, Avicii.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking murder. 29 hertz is like, it fucking hurt my teeth. I'm like, and like, I know, motherfucker, I don't know if this thing's doing a 60, but it's approaching that if it's not. And it has that bandwidth and it's fucking outstanding. And I'm super duper happy with this thing. So
What's your go-to demo song going to be in there, you think?
so far, the best thing has been Rusticle's 29 hertz. Hey brother, it's the shit. Yeah, Byron climbed in there with me, and I was like, "This is the one, bro. Look at this shit." But Rockstar was real good too. You heard that? Yeah.
I like that.
My number go-to
that
is
that Zoo song that you played, dude, was up there for me in that car. What's it called?
Which one?
Too Much Zoo or Too Zoo?
Too many zoos.
Too
I
Many
haven't
Zoos.
done that yet in there. That motherfucker has 8 B2 CDR horns on it with a Salt 200.4 running them at 2 ohms.
Yeah.
So
Play that in there.
that's
probably will.
gotta be good. Oh, I want to go do that right now. I'm like, in that. It's
Send a
in
video.
my garage downstairs. That motherfucker.
Yeah, that's a
is
great
there.
song. Great demo song.
Leave us live and go turn it up. I want to see if the camera starts bouncing on the desk.
Fucking neighborhood.
I'll go ahead and call the cops for your neighbors now.
You know what I need to do is I need to screenshot all the message that I get from the fucking lady that's like 1/2 mile away from us, and she's a seamstress or some shit that's near our shop. And she sends us these nasty messages every day. Oh, it's not on my phone right here.
That's awesome.
I'll share them all. I should do it. I should be like, these are the messages I get from this fucking lady
Yeah,
every day. Anytime we're testing anything. I'm testing a fucking truck box with 4/8 in it. She's a half a fucking mile away, and she's like,
Man.
"This is nauseating. You're making me. I have a headache. I have to leave my work. You're stopping my work from happening." I'm like,
What about you, Steve?
What does she do?
What was your go-to demo track for the Explorer?
so far.
Honestly, I never really had one song that I played.
Well, I mean,
I just kind of played whatever. I really didn't. One part
your
of
shit
it
had
was I can
super
never.
bandwidth. Yeah.
Yeah, just my thing had so much bandwidth that it almost didn't matter. There was like maybe a few songs that would kind of come into the rotation, but I couldn't even tell you what they were. My brain like doesn't work that way for some reason.
The Raiden and the Bloodbath, both, it doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean?
I'll
It's
tell you
like,
one song though that for sure I want to demo in the Explorer is that, and I got it sent to me by Josh McDonough. Is you guys probably got a demo of it? It's that one. It's kind of like a circusy song. It's like ding 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 ding, whatever that. And then the Jack in the Box, right? Isn't that what that is? And then the joke's on you. It says, then it just starts. It goes. It hammers. It's got a huge
that was
wave.
the one he would play for us at
And
at
go,
the showdown. Yeah.
And
Oh, that
like,
was super fun, man. That thing and that song
and it played
made
up
that
and down
demo.
and up and fast.
That song made that demo like you were on a ride.
Exactly. That's why. So that song.
So
yeah,
I watched a video years ago of EXO in Clippo, right? We talked about it, and he's like, "This is like a fucking ride." And the first time I experienced that, it was probably John Nolte with a bunch of different shit years ago. But then at fucking Slam, there was a few things in the Cube, and then also in the Hutchinson truck that were like, "All right, here you fucking go," and it was like, "Oh shit!" And it's like you're holding on. It's like almost like doing the drop on the roller coaster. You're like, get your tongue between your teeth, and you fucking hold on to everything and just melt your fucking face off. And that song in that truck at the showdown was the best example of that kind of like, here it comes, and it's like, oh, I know this motherfucker's gonna do the damn thing in a second, and you're like holding on, like getting ready, you know?
Yeah. It has all the notes. Fun. It has like the hard bass lines. It's got the low drops, and it's got the sweeps. So it's just your body's constantly getting hit with these different feelings. You're getting choked out, and then you're getting hit with floppy ass. You know, it's everything. So
the door falls off. No.
Yeah, that song, I don't want to put it out there yet because I'm gonna have Chris remake it for me a little bit, and I think it's gonna be the song I use. That one I sent. I don't know if you listened to it or not.
I didn't get a chance to yet, but I need to look at that. I was trying to bring it on my computer and play it on my reference speakers, but yeah,
it's only a minute and 20 seconds, so I think I'll have him double it. But it's got like a really fast machine gun pattern, and it's like 3 different tones to start, and then it drops to like an EDM style song. But I know that first part, you could just rip people's wigs off, and then after like just 10 seconds of shock just to start it off, and then a little lull before the super low with also the machine gun stuff. It's going to be a wild song. So I'm looking forward to that.
I play New Level. And then whenever I need to give someone the sauce, like Bobby at Slam, Hypnotize. And I go up 4 clicks on the radio, and either the subs are going to make it or they won't. Normally they make it.
I was playing Hypnotized when I left my shop. When I left the gas station, the fucking Slam Halen, like the gas was kind of funky smelling when I'd be idling that thing. So I went and filled the rest of the tank. It was about a quarter of a tank. So I filled the tank with 91 octane. And I was like, all right, I'm heading home. And I left. And I was giving it everything it had. Like Colt was like, turn the volume to 30. I'm like, all right. I'm like, 31 it is, bitch. Fuck you. Like the clip light ain't blinking. I'm good. And I'm playing Hypnotized, and I'm like, God damn. And I got like my tongue between my teeth, and I'm driving. And I'm like, God, I'm gonna say it's gonna take a second to get used to this motherfucker. And then all of a sudden, all the audio fucking stopped, and I'm like, "Oh no!" And I'm like, and I look at the head unit, and it's got like a number on there, and I'm like, "What the fuck is that? 77531." I'm like, "That looks like a phone number." And I look down at my phone, pick it up. John Raby was calling me. I'm all, dude.
You
I'm
gave
like,
me a
"Dude,
heart attack.
fucking my ass about sucked the fucking cover of this seat into it." I thought I fucked something up because I was giving it the business. And I had and I had the extra click that I hadn't had yet, and I was like, "Ooh."
That's
I'm
so.
like,
That's the same song when I had Steven's Duncan's white truck. You know, the 715, 77500 flat wall, 160 loud truck. I was driving it to Baton Rouge. I was driving to Baton Rouge somewhere, playing Hypnotize, and that's right at peak. The normal Hypnotize. I'm giving it the beams on the interstate. I'm over here. They're like, ooh. Truck goes, feels like it goes in neutral. I'm like, what was that? Turn it down, hitting the throttle, nothing. Like,
limp mode, bitch.
I get pulled over. It's rough idling. The truck put itself in a limp mode from the base.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I had my Explorer do that before.
That truck
It
is
was a
so
fuse.
loud that I was on the 14th floor of the hotel we were staying at, way the fuck up high.
I was over in Vegas.
And I heard bass. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck is that? And I'm looking out the window and I'm looking in the parking lot and I don't see shit. And I'm like, and then I look up like this and on the fucking strip, man, coming down. And I'm like, I know that truck.
Me, Steven, and a big PSI flag hanging off the back of the truck. From that.
Allison's like, where? I'm all, white truck right there. She's like, holy fuck. And I'm like, that's Steve Duncan's fucking truck. It's got 750. It's one of the loudest shits I've ever been in.
I love that truck.
I was like, God damn, like, you don't think you'd hear that shit 14 floors up. But, yep, you sure do, bitch.
That's right. So, real quick, another guest.
Hi.
Who are you?
Rob Haynes, product trainer with JL Audio.
Bobby, are you out there?
At the training
at Mark Eldridge's class a couple weeks back with Scott here.
I was supposed to be there. I'm really sad I missed it, but I skipped it so I could come here and not feel super stressed about all the other stuff that I've been doing.
It probably worked out well because we probably all got more rest because you weren't there.
Oh, come on. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear
The
it.
class before was 3 hours a night.
That's not my
I
fault.
worked all day, drove all the way down to Bixby, Oklahoma.
It's not my fault.
Go to bed at 3 a.m, get up at 6:45, do the class,
excuses.
go to bed at 3 a.m. again, up at 6:45, and then drive all the way back home. Get home at like 3 a.m.
Those are the memories you're gonna remember that for.
I specifically told Matt, like, if you guys are doing that, have at it. I'm staying at the hotel because I'm too old for that shit.
We didn't mean to do it.
No.
But so the first night we just hung out at Mark's place until midnight. It was late.
11 o'clock midnight.
Then went to go eat.
And then went to talk shit on tuners that charge $175 per channel to tune.
$175 per channel to tune.
To suck.
But,
yeah, that was wild. I mean, that whole weekend was just nuts. And then, the last class again was nuts and
always fun.
Definitely a good learning experience going to Mark's house. For me, so I'm in this weird situation with JL Audio. I live in Los Angeles, so I am as far as away from the mothership and 6 hours from where we are in Phoenix right now. So, while I've been in car audio for 18 years, I hear amazing stuff when I'm at the office. Then I go home, listen to my car, and it's like, shit, the reference is gone now.
Yeah.
So
how far are you from LA, Bobby?
Forever.
Fucking 7-8 hours.
I'm closer to LA than Bobby is.
Yeah, you are, aren't you? I forget how
Real
tall
close to
California is.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot how tall Florida was until I had to drive to Tampa for me to steal. I remembered really quick.
Miami to the Georgia border is a good 7-8 hour drive.
Yep. I've had a couple drives that made me just question my life. That's
Shit,
one
California,
of them. The other was coming home from Vegas.
Take as long to get from San Diego to Redding as it does to get like halfway across the fucking country.
Oh, Lord.
Dude,
I drove the southern route. In that truck they're talking about that drove down the strip super loud. The first time we took it, we drove it there with a wall vehicle, everything. We drove it. So we drove it back We're like, I'll take the
That's
I-10
the
route.
first time I heard it. The first time
There's
I
a
met you.
sign that says 873 miles to Houston, and I just wanted to get out. Because you know what? Find me the climb close to the airport. Because Houston's still another 4 hours from my house, and 6 to Stevens. Man,
Yeah, those signs are.
Byron in
Texas
the
is
back,
wild.
like, y'all can't drive, bitches. Y'all suck. He's like, only 800 miles. That's a day.
That's an afternoon.
No, I laugh when people talk about
He's
it
like,
for
well, right though.
being long. It's funny.
So what do
If
y'all?
it's like-
What? We're talking about. I was going to go back to the topic. What do you listen to every day? Because we're not.
Let's
you're not out
ask
there
our
listening to.
ask our new guest. Let's have Scott and the gentleman from JL that I forget his fucking name all the time, but I know he's real smart.
Well, I don't know if I'm real smart, but I'm glad I come off that way. So thank you.
I mean, that's
You did really good at the training. I was like, that guy's fucking smart. I like him. But you fooled me, I guess.
For me, my everyday, I listen to a lot of death metal and deathcore. When I'm in the mood, I'll put on some bass heavy stuff, but a lot of the time it's death metal and my demo SQ playlist just to analyze what I'm listening to. And for those rare opportunities like tonight when I can actually demo my car for people that know what they're listening to.
Yeah, but that's one thing. Is like I like giving demos of the truck, but I know that they're not going to appreciate it. They're not going to appreciate how good it is.
My wife's like, "Oh yeah, it sounds crisper," and I'm like,
"Oh, don't use that word."
C7s, 3 VXIs.
Don't say the word crisper in his car again.
Is
sounds really crisp.
More crisp.
No, put in some super tweeters, get all the crispiness.
Put in some bullets.
Hey, so the other day I stumbled across a song that I used to love to play in my vehicles. That is a very, very metal song that has a fuckload of bass. It's called "Jump the Fuck Up" by Soulfly. Soulfly, "Jump the Fuck Up," and the guys tested in the Slam Halen, and they were like, the initial bass hit must be a kick drum right when the fucking bass guitar or whatever synthesizer they're using lights off, because it's like, oh, it's violent, and it's like
The
super
Slam Halen
good.
is their newest build.
Yeah.
They did.
So you guys that are watching Soulfly, "Jump the Fuck Up,"
612 bed,
it's
ton of
fucking
power,
super nasty.
front stage
And
is 10-inch,
Rusticles,
audio,
go fucking rebase
and
that shit if it needs to be.
B2
and,
CDR horns on a all
send
on
that
ton of
shit.
power.
So
That's
when we
awesome.
had the kicker Scion, the XP, it had the 615s on ZX 1000s, and that was actually one of the tracks I enjoyed listening to. But it's hard to get people to jump in there because I'd turn the bass to like -6 on that radio, and that thing would rip your head off.
And the average person's like, no.
Yeah. There's very few people that want to get into outside of the enthusiasts. There's very few people who can handle 150 plus cars.
That's what I try to tell Steven. So even with
150?
enthusiasts who like bass, I try to tell Steven that because he wants to give everybody a 170 demo in his van. Everybody. I'm like, man, if you just stopped at like a 166, 167, 99% of people would just lose it. And you won't blow your subs up constantly.
But it's kind of like a train wreck. You want to watch it happen, but you don't want to be part of it. That's how like some of those really violent cars are from a person who has never had a truly loud vehicle like what you guys build.
I got you, bro. I got you.
I don't want to cry in front of
We
everybody.
all got you, baby. We all
Just
got
pull
you.
up. Everybody
You know what,
here.
Drew? Hey, Drew, you know what you should do while you're
Byron
there?
is gonna get a fucking all steel 1215s. How many salt
12
eights?
million watts.
4. He's already got 4 salt eights. It's gonna rip
be
your
loud.
whole
Be loud.
fucking face
And then so
all the way
Steve has a
off.
Ford Explorer. It's
Yeah.
So the competition group
All
Kicker's
steel.
coming back. He's on it. He's on it. It's gonna be 915s,
915,
915s, and a full steel interior Explorer on a ton of power.
Yeah.
It's gonna
It's gonna be
be
loud.
just.
What I was gonna say, Drew, is what you should do over this next like 3-4 month period is recruit as many SQ, JL, whatever, and just SQ guys as you can to come to Slam, and let's have some sort of interaction. Get them
I mean,
to jump in
there's
some of these fucking crazy cars, and let's like start melding our.
Yeah.
there's
Like-
a triple point a 3X iASCA SQ event at Slam every year too.
Let's go.
So-
You get
dude.
instant full credit for a noise floor and something else. They just give you full points right away because they can't judge it. I mean,
We
so
gotta
the
do
SQ judging portion
something.
is
So the
We
audio
gotta do
control people have a
something
chance.
that's right.
where we
So-
get SQ
they-
guys and SPL guys, right? And demo SPL guys. We get like, all right, we grab Andrew Showers and we go, all right, dude, you're gonna hike your fucking fat ass over here and get in this guy's SQ build. And he's gonna come over here and get in the motherfucking B2 Suburban, and they trade demos, and fucking Andrew would be like, and Andrew's an SQ guy. He's got some really nice builds. His stuff sounds good. His regular truck. The first time I met Andrew, he had like a really beautiful sounding build with just 215s in the back, and it sounded great. And he showed me his build. It sounded fucking awesome. So he'll really appreciate that, and then he'll bring the guy over. And the Bourbon is a great example. And hopefully, hopefully it shows more of these vehicles that, all right, it's doors open. You're not going to die. It's going to blow your fucking face off. It's going to sound cool. You're going to hear music. You're not just going to hear bass. You know what I mean? Like showing people how fucking fun it can be. You know what I mean?
Well,
they're
like our side of the community has came so far in the last like 5-6 years. I don't think a lot of the SQ guys really even know how much of the shit that we have going on even exists. Like,
I think
come
it
to
sucks
Slam,
because there's
experience some of it.
so many loud vehicles that sound like shit.
We're working on it.
So many
It's getting
SQ
better. It's
vehicles
getting
that are
better though. Every year it's getting better.
silent.
So
There needs to be some more.
I mean, think about all the posts you've been seeing recently about people in basehead groups asking about DSPs and tuning, and it's coming.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
there's no
And
convenience
Drew,
zone.
you are the primary catalyst of it. You really are.
I'm trying.
I'm so fucking proud of you, and I'm glad to
Thank
be
you.
like right in there with you. And it like I've been pushing so hard with my customer base. You know, I get these guys that come in and it's like the Raiden, and he's like, it's got to sound fucking amazing, but I want it to be as loud as it could possibly be. So it's this.
Yep.
I was like, dude, with the money you spent on this thing, I could have done a 180. We're barely touching a 160 if we're lucky.
But it's a crew cab truck that'll play music for 12 hours straight.
And it'll spin donuts and drag
I
a
think
boat.
it's cool that your community is kind of starting to embrace DSP. Over Steve and I at JL, we've been talking about DSP for SPL for years, but we're not in the scene, you know. So having someone like Drew, who you guys relate to because you compete with him, it's what you guys live and love. It's a lot more relatable than us at times. So having one of your peers talk about how we can gain, sometimes it's a fraction of a DB that can win you a competition or a world championship.
Well,
One thing that by fixing time-related issues and not add more power, that's huge for you guys. I think it's super cool that it's starting to finally be embraced.
So what they're going to add more the demo side of things. So like
that's the big difference.
But a lot of us demo
the demo side,
music and just enjoy it.
And there's like
they'll just run all these.
There's almost
full range. Like they'll run a 6.5 mid range, 120 all the way up.
Yeah,
they'll just run all the way up because that's just what the head unit can do. You can't do active. They don't know about active and all this and all that. So they're just running everything full range, and it's been working.
The thing is that there's like 3 different things now. You have SQ, you have SPL, and then you have the demo cars.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Like SQ guys out to Slam, you can see what the scene is.
Yeah, like the SPL guys aren't even like what we're talking about. Like, we do. The demo guys do high SPL numbers, but those cars are basically like the bridge between the SQ and the comp guys. They're cars that do really loud bass, but they're meant to like be somewhat of a concert on wheels.
Yeah,
at the same time,
music,
really
sound good,
loud music. They're not. Nobody's burping. I mean, people are still burping. Obviously, the SPL comp guys, but this whole demo crowd that's really become so prevalent on our side.
Yeah,
and then you see the TikToks and all the stuff. All that crap. Those are the guys that are really starting to use the DSPs and build these crazy doors with, just like Drew's doing.
I'm very glad that
the
DSP stuff is coming quickly because the doors they built stunt walls, big walls of speakers that motor. Some of them, like Bobby built some for Donor Sky High. It motorizes up out the bed of the truck and then opens. It is huge. and stuff like that benefits so greatly
90,
from proper control.
96, 94 speakers.
Most of these guys have been running these mid ranges full range, and that's not going to sound great. And it's been rough. It's been hard to listen to. And I've been using DSPs in vehicles since the 363 came out. I've always had DSPs. What I've always done. That's how I thought it had to be. And I never thought to try to spread the word.
You also got to look at it as Mark Eldridge puts out a really good point. When you're tuning a vehicle, you make an adjustment. Oh, it's louder. Okay, but it's louder, but is it better? And there's a huge difference.
How is louder not better? What the fuck? No,
and that's the average.
You're wrong. It's over. God damn it!
Like if it sounds better, you'll
know
listen
Bobby
to it
sold Scar.
I think I'm
got Scar DSPs,
I'm
bro.
going to go. It's nice
Does
chatting
Scar
with
have
you
a
guys.
Thank you, sir.
Hopefully I'll see some of you at Mark's
God
class,
damn it.
or maybe I'll come down to one of the shows one of these days.
If you get a chance, Slimology. It's the biggest show of the year. It is.
I'll see if I can work
Yeah,
that
there's
into my
a few
busy
there.
travel schedule of already being gone half the month.
Perfect. Wait, what's the other half? I mean, really?
I do have a family that somewhat likes me, so at least they still.
Hey, thanks for coming on.
Have a
with
nice
me.
night, bro.
So
awesome.
I have been using DSPs in loud vehicles since like 2017, 2018. And it was like, when I was working with Audio Dynamics quite a bit, me and Aaron White, and it was really this, I'm so adamant about how I like things. I want them to sound beautiful,
Or be loud.
but it has to be loud. It has
It's
to
always
reach a
been that
certain
way
point,
for
or
me,
I'm not
too.
going to be happy. You know what I mean? Like I gotta be fucking loud, and then, you know what I mean? And if it sounds like shit, I'll just turn it way down and I'll listen to a podcast. Or if it's not loud enough, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'll tell you, most SQ vehicles that I've heard, I would drive around listening to podcasts in that. I wouldn't listen to music.
Yep.
I'd be fucking disappointed. They're not fucking loud enough. And then most SPL vehicles, I'll listen the same way I'd listen to an SQ vehicle. Yeah, show me how beautiful it sounds. You're right, man. That is beautiful. I really like it. That's really good. I like it. I'd listen to an SPL vehicle and it sounds so shitty that I'm like, that's fun. It's really loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
I mean,
really
it's a
glad I
different
was in that for
experience.
fucking
Like
2.5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
I mean-
that was fun. I liked it. But
I haven't heard a quiet SQ demo, so I can't 100% agree with you. But I understand what you're saying. Like the only SQ demos I ever got were loud, and they sounded awesome.
Yeah,
So,
you need to.
I mean-
I say it every time. You need to come to Aggieland.
I do.
It's
I just
the
think
loudest
you got a
SUV.
bad first
I'm gonna do
impression.
something. I'm gonna fucking cheat. I'm gonna host a couple of SQ shows at Gately Audio to make it easier for me to hear some fucking badass vehicles. That's what I'm gonna do.
Well, hey, how far is Boyd from you, Bobby? Where's he at?
Jeremy, I thought he moved to Texas. He was in
You might
Seattle
be right.
area or
He could
outside
be
of
Texas
Seattle.
now. I think
I know. Me and him were in the same building today, but I didn't see him.
Jeremy's
Yeah, I
awesome.
think you're right. I think he did. move
Jeremy's
to
car
Texas.
sounded fucking beautiful. Beautiful. I'm like, God damn. And I'm like, I rolled the window down. I'm like, how loud can I turn it up? He's like, turn it up all the way. And I was like, whoop. I rolled down the window. I was like, I do wish it was a little louder. And he's like, I kind of thought you'd say that. And I'm like, it sounds fucking amazing. And he's like, I could probably make it louder, but it would fuck up some of the SQ judging. And I went,
Yep.
what?
Yeah.
So
See, I don't
I
get
so
that part.
judging is
And
why I
I
have
go
to.
back up, and a bunch of my guys hopped in. They were like, God damn, man.
Well,
It's
hey, Drew,
really fucking pretty.
maybe
And
you
it,
and Scott
it was
could.
great. I fucking loved it, but I also wished. I mean, this thing had a stack of fucking amazing gear and this beautiful install, and it sounded super good. But right when I was hoping that motherfucker would
Rip your
it was
face
like,
off. No,
Yeah.
damn it, it's not.
Well,
doing
can you guys explain to us why they don't want you guys to play like loud and clear? Where it's like, why is it that it has to? Why is it not better
Sort of gonna fuck
if
the
it's
whole
louder?
imaging up.
So
Yeah,
in the SQ
tell me, like,
world,
why isn't it like my car could sound just as good as this dude's, if not better, and I could play twice as loud?
Because
Like,
it
why is
won't
that not
sound just
better?
as good, and it won't be better because your staging and imaging will just fall to pieces.
Yeah.
There's no way to keep that loud and maintain the staging image.
there's very few cars that'll get loud. Jeffries is one of them that'll get loud and still maintain imaging, but
Okay.
that's a rarity.
Yeah, it's
And Eric was in the comment section. There was a post he did on Metallica's One, and to add to that, that's a killer demo track. But if you do Metallica's One live at 5 minutes 25 seconds, play that through the rest of the track, it'll just rip your head off. In a SQ car, it's awesome. In an SPL car, it's still awesome. And something that's just loud in every aspect, that is a killer fucking track.
Yeah, that's actually one song I was thinking of.
Is it the when they had the symphony?
So the symphony version's awesome. We on the way back from K-Fest Dallas, Meggie and I were driving back, and we went full tilt, volume, DRC knob, and that track's like 9 minutes 24 seconds, and we played the absolute hell out of it the entire way.
I'm gonna play that in my truck.
And that's a really kick-ass one.
Yeah,
and for
I had that
have a
whole
music
fucking
system-
album when it was brand new, and I listened to that shit a lot. It was awesome.
It's cool. But the regular live version, I think it was off Never. If you do the live version of it and go to like 5 minutes 25 seconds and just play it on through. I actually just demoed in Rob's car that was sitting here with us. He let me choose a couple songs. That was one of the go-tos for me. It is awesome when a car can accurately replicate that song.
I'm gonna have to go listen to his car. I want to hear that. There's a wide body Challenger in there that.
Did you listen to Manville's
I haven't heard
car?
anything yet.
Manville's car is awesome. That was a very fun system to listen to. The cool part about these shows, and I really encourage people to go to them, if you can get to Knowledge Fest, that's Vegas, Dallas, Indy, and Orlando. If you can make it to any show in general, SQ shows, if there's not a judge in the car, the front door is usually open. Hop in, take a listen. It's wild, and it's a different wild than throwing my beard in my face and stuff like that in the SPL cars. But when you hear something that's good, it's wild. I mean,
I'm getting to the point where you can get a staging-ish demo while doing a 60.
See, I wish I could remember the guy's name at TDH that had that. It was a 67 Impala. He'd won many World or SQ championships. You might know who it is. He was on. It wasn't Pit My Ride, but it was on one. It might have been Pit My Ride. He was on one of the shows that was on TV. I don't think it was Pit My Ride. It was one of the more actual like real car ones. But on the east side of the country, he's one of the more known SQ guys. God, I wish I'll have to find out.
Carlson?
It definitely could be. Does he have a 67 Impala that's like a goldish color?
Yeah, I'll have to shoot around, but
okay.
On
But
the East
it
Coast,
was loud, and like you're saying, it was so amazing that I was at an SPL show, and it was one of my favorite demos because it sounded literally like I was at a live show. That's
the one thing that
amazing.
Like my truck had to be. It had to be able to get to the point where I'm like, yeah, that's good. That's loud.
There's stuff and there's tracks that have things that'll emphasize the whole SQ world without boring you guys to tears. But Celine Dion's Ashes, you can hear before she sings. Every time you'll hear her inhale. If you do Days of the New, you'll hear calloused fingers on guitar strings.
Yeah. You know what song I always like to tune with? I don't know if you guys ever play.
And the wall's gonna suck your hair back.
Well, it's got a hell of a bass note in it. That's off the Deadpool album, Deadpool 2.
Do you guys ever play Sheryl Crow? God, what's that song? I use it to. When I'm messing with my stuff in my truck, I play it quite often because it does a lot of back and forth as well as it has so many different instruments. Every Day is a Winding Road. Whatever the name of that song is. You guys ever play that in any of your cars?
I haven't, but I will play it in the
Yeah.
truck.
Yeah, I'm going to now.
Yeah. Play it. Sheryl Crow, Every Day is a Winding Road. It's a good. I think it'll be, at least for me, in my daily, which is somewhat
What's your
of an
day-to-day
SQ
music
setup.
though that you listen to?
Me, it's all over the place.
Yeah,
I
I'm with
listen
that.
to rock and rap, and not like not rap that's like on the popular rap or shit that's on the radio. More like Jurassic
Justin
5
Bieber, yeah,
style
yeah.
shit, underground, Black Star, that kind of vibe. And then I've been recently getting into a lot of EDM music, but not like super dancey,
Yeah.
more like chill EDM. I don't even know what you want to call it, but like Zed's Dead, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And
some of
Bobby,
the
what do you got
Zed
there?
stuff's
It
really
must be
fun.
on.
I
I don't see it.
Okay.
So lately,
What do you got in your
right,
hand?
I set up those monitor speakers in my office at my computer, and so I brought up my Spotify, and I haven't had my own daily driver vehicle with an audio system in a long time. The guys at Sky have had my truck for, I don't know, 5-6 months. So
Wait, this one.
I've been listening to podcasts most of the time
So yeah.
because stock audio systems aren't fun to listen to fucking music on. So I've been Captain Podcast for a minute. So now I got these badass speakers and I bring up all my old music, and I got all these playlists from when I was teaching yoga and stuff. And I've listened to a bunch of fun songs on there, and that's where I stumbled across the Jump the Fuck Up and a few other things that are really fun. Obviously, Money for Nothing is a great song that you should always play on any fucking
100%.
system.
Good song. Yep.
Probably my favorite. Hotel California, I can't fucking handle it. I've never really thought that was a great song. I know that musically
It's played
sounds
out.
good, but
It's one of the ones that worry out. It's like Spanish Harlem and all that stuff. They're great tracks.
Peppery Man.
they're great for listening to the music and analyzing it. It's not that great of a song. I don't enjoy it that much, so it's really hard to be
Byron's like,
yeah,
wait, you're a white boy that don't like the Eagles. What?
So
That
I
look.
do not like it. I just don't like it very much. I'm
So
like,
one of the
meh.
things Mark Eldridge says
Yeah,
is,
but-
the technical tracks are tracks that should never really be judged on for daily listening, and that's true. Like, if you listen to the hardcore technical tracks, they'll wear you out. Nick had a comment on there about spending the money if you're into SQ. Why not spend money on something that'll get rowdy? A lot of these systems will absolutely get rowdy. In my personal car, I have a daily driving tune, and then there's a party tune. And all the cars I tune, they usually get a single seat tune, a 2-seat tune, and a party tune. Even as an SQ car, as little as it is, and with the speakers I have and what they're designed for, it'll absolutely get rowdy. It'll get with it. It's fun to listen to. You'll get out ears ringing if you're ripping on it. We did that with the Metallica track, and when we got to the next town,
Yeah, you got to chill out for a minute.
yeah,
That was one reason why I was so. I've gotten along so well with the MTI guys and Jeffrey and Scott. This SQ is important. We love it. It's great. But if it's not fun to listen to, I don't want to listen to it. Put the podcast
Right.
on.
100%. How about
Listen
how
here,
about
here. Yell at me.
you guys ever play Never Too Much, Luther Vandross? I know has been it used to be a popular SQ song.
I'm gonna
That's on my list. Hold on a second.
Yeah, that is at least one of the old school SQ songs from some of the old school guys here that used to.
This track.
Never Too Much.
I love it by Puddle's Pity Party.
Is that the clown guy?
Yeah,
That dude's got a wicked good, cool voice.
dude, that track is a monster. That one was good. Luther.
It
I
is
wish I
fun,
could share like my playlist. I have a ton of playlists on Tidal. I don't know. What do you guys use for streaming audio?
Absolutely,
I
title.
use Spotify.
Apple Music.
Spotify.
Spotify.
Actually, if you go to Spotify and you search Bobby Gately, you can find Bobby Gately test music, and there's all
the
my
tunes and
test
stuff.
stuff. And there is like beautiful SQ songs to fucking weird shit in a different language because it sounded interesting, and that's a really good one. And then a a good SQ person is Sarah Jarose. Take Me Back and Build Me Up with Bones. Build Me Up from Bones. Those ones, I think I showed you guys those ones, if I'm not mistaken, or at least you, Drew. And those are fucking beautiful, and they're really awesome songs to listen to. And then just recently, Allison and I have been listening to these like movie soundtracks that have songs that we really like. And one of them is the Ben Stiller movie, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. And it's probably my favorite soundtrack of any movie I've ever listened to. It's got a bunch of really great songs on it that I really enjoy. And then another one is the movie Garden State. These are older movies, both pretty cool movies. They're a little weird, kind of slow rolling, but interesting. And both of their soundtracks are really good. So,
I think while we're on the topic, what we're listening to, Spotify, Tidal, I'd like to take a moment to just tell everybody, stop fucking using YouTube. It's the worst.
Oh, God, bro.
It's the absolute worst.
Dude. Oh, my God.
And they're like, hey, let me Bluetooth this. I'm like, could you make the signal any more shitty? Like, just turn fucking FM on. And
hey, bro, I have LDAC Bluetooth. Thank you.
Oh, my gosh,
High
dude.
quality.
They're like, yeah, but I get to watch the video.
Dude, the fucking YouTube, they're like, hey man, I don't know why, man, this song sounds like shit in my car, and that's like my favorite song, and I don't even like, what can you do to my tune? And I'm like, all right, let me see. And I'm like trying to fix it, and then I'm like, wait a minute, what are we playing on? And they're like, oh, it's Pandora. And then I'm like, okay, what do you have your settings at? I don't know.
What settings?
I'm like, oh, well, it's fucked up. Oh yeah.
Is Pandora even still a thing?
Oh, automatic. Great. Okay, let me fix all your shit. All right, here's the song. Let me go ahead and fucking go a half an hour back in your fucking tune. Hey, when I built your car and I told you had to play at the oh yeah. Oh, I remember that. Well, I thought I did that. I'm like, yeah, you had Spotify then. You changed to Pandora. I have no fucking idea why. It's like exactly the same, but now your shit is all fucked up. And it makes half the shit you listen to sound like ass, and you're running around showing this thing off. Check out my Gately build, and you make it sound like shit with your shitty phone and your shitty settings. It's bad. I mean, and then if they play shit off of YouTube, I'm like, oh, they're like, I burned up my tweeters. I'm like, of course you fucking did, Captain fucking White Noise. What the fuck?
So,
I mean,
it always cracks me up because I try telling people, like, I'm the biggest hater of FM in the world. And in my car, I have an Italian Alpine Restyle. So it's a 9-inch Alpine, but they wouldn't sell it to me in the United States. So I ordered it from a dealer out there. They don't have the FCC. I get the best FM reception, and I hate FM. I try telling my customers, you're listening to like 0.8% of the original content of that damn song. 99.2% of that track was removed to fit it over these shitty little bandwidth that they give us for FM. And they're like, yeah, but like I really like listening to like Johnny Dare in the morning. It is what it is. You can never improve that signal, no matter how nice a product you have.
Once
you can put a $40,000 system in there.
That way. Yeah.
A shit signal in is going to be a shit signal out. And if you start with something decent, even if you don't have the best products, you can have an entry level DSP and decent speakers and whatever.
Audio control?
Except that.
Okay, cool. Just check it.
But you can put all that in there, and you can start off with Tidal, Spotify, Apple Music if you're paying for the premium, and it'll still sound really good. You have really good content going in. But if you have that shit FM signal, the Pandora, the YouTube, whatever, it's never going to get better. And, there's people listening that are going to get pissed off, and that's fine. You can get mad.
He's passionate about that. We don't care.
Yeah. But listen to that on there. Take your favorite fucking song. Listen to it on YouTube on your headphones. Go to your buddy who actually pays for a service, whether it's Spotify, Tidal, whatever. Listen to the exact same song. And tell me you don't hear a damn difference in it.
There's actually a really good YouTube video. I remember Kip from Kickers shared it a couple years ago, and I don't remember exactly who it was. It's a music producer, but he went through. It was his songs, his masters. So he played like his master. He played the YouTube version. He played all the versions And when he heard the YouTube version, he was like, the looks on his face, he was like, "What the fuck is that? What is that?" He's like, "What is that? I never put that frequency's not in that song." It's not only that they take shit out, but they also will
The
add some
compression
shit in. It's
fucking
really
ruin it.
fucking weird.
No, the
So, yeah,
compression will ruin it.
factors.
If it's super duper compressed, like he's saying, if it's compressed to less than 1% of its original content,
If
it's
you're
a
stream your
hot
music a lot,
mess when it lands in your ears.
if you stream music a lot and you like, you're just listening to the music. Apple Music is on top right now because you can, as long as the tracks are available, they'll stream in high res lossless, and it is about the closest full lossless as you can get currently. It's really good.
Yeah,
it's not cheap, but it's really good.
How much is it? I pay $20 a month for Tidal.
It's $20 a month.
$20 to $29 a month usually for the master quality stuff.
Yeah, but
Tidal should be really good. I think I pay like $25 a month, and I have 6 spots of Spotify, so I got a whole.
I have Spotify, Family, Tidal. I have all three. Just because I started on Spotify, and then I got Tidal. I thought Tidal was the best, and then I got digging into how the codecs and how they stream, and discovered that Apple had recently come out with hi-fi lossless. This was probably last year, maybe. I was like, well, I need that too, I guess. So I'm doing this SQ stuff. And if I go from a song playing high-res lossless and then go to like Spotify Premium, it is a discernible difference in the truck. Now, that difference is not as noticeable or at all like the Tahoe. You're not going to hear the resolution shift in there.
If anybody wants to catch that video, I did find it. It was really easy to find, but that's the link. I'll message it to you guys. If you
I was just about to say, can you send that to the chat? So I can.
There's that one.
Yeah, in the chat, and then
another really good one is if you Google "is compression killing our music," and they'll talk about compression and the crest factors. That's a really damn interesting video to watch.
And that's part of what influences one end of it or the other. Right, that's part of they're splitting a wedge in us. They're pushing us apart. SPL guys versus SQ guys. It's a conspiracy. No, it's if you're the loudness wars stuff, the whole fucking thing, right? The guys that want things to be loud, they're also trying to make things be really convenient. And shitty sounding music is far more convenient to find.
Love convenience. I love it. We all do. But I'm not playing shitty music in the Tahoe. I'm just not. I don't.
Now that you know, I've been somewhere along the way. Now I'll tell you, a handful of years ago, one of my buddies is at my shop, and he's like, check this one out in my truck. And he beep-a-bopples, and he's on fucking YouTube, and it's the only place where we could find it. And he's playing.
Hey, I mean, that's the only option, and that's what it is.
Right. And it was loud and it was awesome and I liked it. And then I found it on a fucking Rusticles pack. I was like, hey man, this is that same song that I found on YouTube, but I knew it as soon as I heard it. I'm like, hey, that's that one from the fucking YouTube thing that we dig up all the time when I want to hear this. And it was the Weekend, and it was a rebased version of the fucking, the goddamn song. That one. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yes. And I fucking loved it. And then I found it in the Rusticles pack, and I was like, oh shit. This is fucking banging. This is way better. I knew it was better as soon as it came on, and I probably hadn't heard the motherfucker in days.
But it's not as convenient to get to because it's on the USB stick.
That's right. But
so what I do,
it was a lesson in how much fucking better. That was when I knew. I mean, this is years ago, before people would be like, "Hey, YouTube is shit, and fucking off the chip is the shit." Like, this is how this works. So that was when I learned in that fucking moment what the real difference was. Mm-hmm. And then I started digging into Spotify and being like, make sure this shit is the highest quality, because every once in a while it would sneak one in. I'd be like, why does that sound like shit? why doesn't that one sound very good right now?
Yep.
And nobody had told me shit. I had to figure this shit out on my own. You know what I mean? And I'm like, beep, bobble. Oh, yep. Look, highest quality seems like everything, almost everything Spotify played for me was fucking better once I did that. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
damn it.
And then digging around the Spotify settings is what led me to the convenience factor of digging through a USB sucks. We don't do that. But
I'm gonna go check on that real quick.
yeah, I first started doing this. If you download tracks to your computer and you have Spotify, the app on your computer, and the app on your phone, and you have the same playlist, the music on your computer will show up on the playlist on your phone. And if you never connect to the same Wi-Fi network, you can't play it. But you could, at that point, connect your phone to the same Wi-Fi network as your computer, and your phone would download the tracks onto the Spotify playlist on your phone from the local files on your computer. So I'm like,
that's one thing
So that's why I've always demoed bass music, modified music from my phone from Spotify, because I could do that. Now it's even easier. If you get the Rusticles app or any USB, you can download the music straight to your phone, and there's an option in Spotify called local files. You just turn it on. Boom. Fully populated playlist in Spotify of all the music you put on your phone.
Yeah. And I found all of my old shit that I bought, on fucking iTunes fucking 10 plus years ago, but I can't get the Rustical shit in there yet. We're going to have to try to conquer that because it'd be way more convenient if I could have.
That's why I do it, because going through USB sucks. You don't want to do that. Like at the show, especially trying to find a track while someone's sitting there next to you. That's awkward.
Well, what I intend to do is sit there at my computer. If I'm gonna put a USB in somebody's vehicle or in my own, figure out what bandwidth is amazing, find a bunch of different songs that work that way, and put them all, just them, on a USB, and be like, here's your 37 really bitchin' songs, Byron, for the Soulgasm, which I expect has fucking bandwidth to the moon, but I also want to make it so that it's easy. You almost just go, what's the next song? And you just fucking let it fucking play. Next one, go ahead. Next one. And if you have a specific one you're trying to give to a fucking deadliest demo or the best demo or the fucking loudest blow your face off demo or whatever the fuck it is, competition.
You should punk him.
You circle back to that one.
You should punk him when you give him the playlist and have it be nothing but like 55 hertz and up. You're like, this is what your truck plays.
Just fucking rebase, fucking Rick roll. It's all fucking
nothing above. Yeah,
coming up.
It's like right when you think that, like, you do half sweeps that go from like 80 to 50, and they just stop.
It starts back over.
And then it's all,
just goes like,
yeah, there you go. See, look at that.
Awesome.
What
the
well, fellas,
it's all doing a fucking crescendo. It's like build up, and then it kind of poops out.
Well, fellas, it has been 2 hours. I might be keeping them here at this point. So I'm going to make an exit.
Yeah, we did a good show. It was fun.
We should wrap it up. I think we had a lot of fun. I guess let's just name off like 5 awesome songs for people to fucking play. Let's do it.
So if you like, I listen to like country and rock in the truck normally, EDM, whatever. Anything of the new Chris Stapleton album is fantastic. I love it. That dude can sing his ass off. And if you haven't heard his rendition of the national anthem at the Super Bowl, you're doing yourself a disservice. That version is great.
Well, I'm just gonna do this. If someone wants to copy my shit here, this is just take the last 5 I added. That's it. Can you even read it?
You can't even read that shit, bro. I love you, man. But there you go. Right there you go. Oh, wait, hold still. Back up a little bit. Back up a little more. Pull it back. Put it in your pocket. Nobody can read that shit.
There it is. Perfect. Right there.
Yeah.
All right. Screenshot that shit. Those are my last 5 songs I added. So there you go. That's what you get.
What? So
I'll be a little more specific. These are songs I've been listening to for fucking years. The Police, Don't Stand So Close to Me. I know I mentioned that motherfucker earlier. Metallica, For Whom the Bell Tolls. The Only Living Boy in New York, Simon and Garfunkel. Good old Enjoy the Silence by Depeche Mode is a fucking banger, and it's a lot of fun. Sounds really cool. Sweet Disposition by the Temper Trap is a lot of fun for listening to something loud that sounds really beautiful. Land of Confusion by Genesis. And we start getting a little bit wild. We got Contractor by Lamb of God. And
I was about to say that was one of the songs I was going to bring up that Chris Pate, MTI, one of his go-to tracks when he wants to really jam a track is "In Your Words" by Lamb of God. It is just a ripper.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Heart of Glass by Blondie.
Ooh.
Heart of Glass by Blondie.
Good soft party jammer, Cucumber Water by Biscuit.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, you'll
fucking wild.
Drum Solo by Gojira. Killer.
Okay, Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel. It's a song about fucking.
Fuck yeah.
I love that song. I loved that song when I was a kid, and I didn't realize it until a few years later. I was like, this song is about fucking.
Is it really?
It's such a
I gotta
fun
listen
song.
to it now.
Oh, listen to it.
Really?
Oh, he's like,
Sledgehammer. Hell yeah.
You could have a steam train if you just lay down your tracks.
Bobby gonna have a steam train with that Sledgehammer tonight. That's my Byron there.
Yeah,
Hey-o.
get it. Get a couple
The
more.
BBC.
Couple more.
It
of
was
these
great as
sparkle
always.
beers and
Yeah, I think I'm
chase
gonna go
around the
find some
house
of
with my
those in a
sledgehammer.
minute.
All right. Hey, Byron, are you going to be anywhere near Virginia in the end of March? Or is that too far away for you?
No, he knows where he's going to be. He said
If
no.
you're okay. Well, if you were, there's a big show out there. All right, boys. We'll see you in a week's time.
Yes, sir. Next week.
Have a nice
Later,
Have a
night.
good night. Hey, the rest of you guys, before you listen to all those SQ tracks, go fix your fucking engine noise.
That's right.
Yeah.